And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's a whole lot happening out there on the internets, in these streets. There's a lot going on. The Breonna Taylor case ended how it should have ended. And I think the one officer that got charged is going to beat that. Nobody got charged in the death of Breonna Taylor, which was appropriate. Why would anybody be charged? I feel like that was an internet meme that kind of got out of control, unfortunately. That's just the long and short of it. May she rest in peace. But just because she died and people are upset does not mean you should just carry out justice like that. Just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg's alleged deathbed wish does not dictate policy. You can't just say, oh, well, my grandma said this, so you shouldn't do that. That's not how it works. Anyone can have hopes, anyone can have dreams, anyone can have wishes, but when it comes down to the law, when it comes down to the Constitution, hopes and dreams and wishes don't apply. We'll talk about that. Also, the hypocrite Alyssa Milano. Alyssa Milano is a big-time social justice warrior. She was in Congress for some reason, in the audience during this whole Brett Kavanaugh kerfuffle. We'll talk about that. Black Lives Matter moves and pages from the website and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience on the internet. If you like the content, if you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you are listening to this on a favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Apple iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, not Plus, Google Play, wherever you are, give me a 5-star rating, give me a review, share it, do whatever you can. And as I was saying, this show you're listening to right now will be available on those audio streaming platforms. If you're watching me on YouTube, a link for that will be in the box below if you want to play it on repeat without having to watch the video. So we got a whole lot going on. I think I'm going to start with Alyssa Milano, and then I'm going to get into Breonna Taylor, because Breonna Taylor is going to be a lot. And I want everybody to get in here and get nice and cozy and comfy, something nice and cold to drink, good to eat, and then we're going to go ahead and just hop right into it. So, Alyssa Milano is a big-time hypocrite. Now, you guys may not know Alyssa Milano. I know her from being on Charmed, the show on, what was it, WBUPN? I don't know what the channel was. But I know her from being on that. Now, I was reading some of the comments on the channel, on that video, and people were saying that she was on Who's the Boss with Tony Danza. I had no idea. Like, she was a child star first. I don't know. All I know is Charmed. I don't know her from anything else. But she's an actress. Not really sure when she's worked last, but different story. I digress. The point is that she's an actress, got a lot of money, married to this guy. I forget his name. They live in the hills in Ventura County. $2.5 million estate, nothing major. You know, just a little estate. Over an acre of land, like 1.5 in the LA area. No big deal, right? Up in the hills. So apparently there was a quote unquote gunman dressed in black going through the woods with a rifle. So somebody called the police. Now, it was funny to see Alyssa Milano try to do damage control over this, because before I even go any further in the story, Alyssa Milano has transformed into this big time SJW. That's social justice warrior. On Twitter, that's her main platform of choice. She's always on Twitter talking about gun control and defund the police, and Trump's bad, Orange Man bad, Brett Kavanaugh bad, Neil Gorsuch bad. Everybody that supports Trump, that's a conservative at all, in any kind of way, form, or fashion, you're bad. If you don't believe in gun control, you're bad. All right? That's the whole thing. She tweeted out this petition to defund LAPD by 90%. 90%. All right. Now, some are going to say, hey, ABL, you don't understand what defunding the police means. It just means diverting certain things. You're not going to harm the police force in any kind of way. Well, I mean, like I've always said, I'm not Albert Einstein. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But if you take 90% of the money away from LAPD, you're going to have less officers. You're going to have a more dangerous area in these high crime areas. Places like Ventura Hills up there where she lives at does not need as much police as, Compton, South Central Inglewood, like in the inner city LA. So when you're defunding the police, you're going to hurt those you purport yourself to be, quote unquote, helping the most. But I digress. My whole point is that she's a big time anti-police, defunding the police. We need gun control, all types of things. But then when the so-called man dressed in black was in the woods behind the property with a rifle, everybody called the police in the neighborhood. She threw the neighbors under the bus because it was reported that she called them. She did call them, but she didn't call them first. I'll talk about that in a minute. She said the neighbors called the police. All right. You couldn't just own up to it and be like, yeah, I called the police. We need the police. Nah, you want to throw your neighbors under the bus talking about they called the police. And then Alyssa Milano and her husband called the police again, talking about, oh, where you guys at? Are you guys close? It's like, why are you rushing them? They already got called. They already got dispatched. So why you want to call them again? Did you call them again to see where they are? Or is you call them because you wanted them to come, aside from what the neighbor did? Okay, don't involve your neighbor. You wanted to call the police. And it's fine to want to call the police. I mean, if you think something is wrong and you don't want to go check it out, you don't feel safe, call the police. It's what they're there for. You paying taxes is what they're there for. But when you advocate to defund the police and you're successful, don't try to have it both ways. If she lived in LA County and she was able to successfully get the police defunded to the point where they're not there really anymore, how would you be able to call them? You're going to call the police and they're going to be like, what can we do for you? Where can I direct you? It'd be somebody over in Philippines, India, or something like that, in a call center talking about how can I direct you, sir? It wouldn't be no police that are right there that can help you, right? But she called the police. Now, you had 7 squad cars, a K9 unit, the fire department, and a helicopter that came to one house, her property, right? Her estate out there in Hollywood. And all of this over a kid that was hunting squirrels with an airsoft gun, right? Defund the police, right? Oh, okay. But it's all right for you to call the police and have them be your personal security. You didn't want to send your husband out there with a gun. I mean, if you're really about that, defund the police life, let your husband go out there and get his little Daisy rifle from when he was 12 years old and try to confront that guy. All right. A teenage boy. Now, what if it had been somebody high on PCP just trying to break through your crib like an Incredible Hulk, breaking through your plate glass windows, all that good stuff. Your sliding glass. He gonna throw a whole water, like you might have a water feature in your backyard. He's picking that up and throwing it straight through your glass windows or your sliding glass doors. What are you gonna do then? Okay, you don't want the guns. Matter of fact, actually, I think she has guns. I think Alyssa Milano has guns in the house. So let me get this straight, Alyssa Milano. You want gun control, but you got guns. You want to defund the police or nearly abolish the police, but you called the police. And nearly the entire Ventura County Police Department and the fire department showed up, and the K9 and the helicopter. So I'm just kind of confused. Is it the old thing about Democrats being hypocritical? The police for me, but not for thee. You live in a dangerous area. You can't have the police because the police are going to be your biggest problem. Aside from all the dope boys and the carjackers, kidnappers, home invaders, aside from all of that going on, the most pressing issue is what the police. I'm not really sure that makes any sense. So that's just typical Democrat stuff. And I think you're going to see a lot more of this as the days, weeks, and months go along, of all the hypocrisy, big time hypocrisy. CD says her husband was hiding under the bed. That's hilarious. He probably was under the bed talking about, you go out there, you go out there and deal with it. Big time beta energy. All of that over a teenager hunting squirrels. Okay. The teenager came out because, they were trying to find him, obviously. He came out and was like, oh, my bad. I didn't know you were looking for me. I was just trying to hunt squirrels with an airsoft gun. Right. Like I said, what if you got this dude, he's 300 pounds of muscle straight from the penitentiary, high on PCP, and throws the water feature from your backyard through your window, and it's 4:00 in the morning. What are you going to do? You got to be ready. You got your guns in the house and you're going to call the police. All I'm saying to anybody out there like that is let us have the same things that you have. You have the police, you have private security, you got guns. Let me have that too. Why can't I have what you have? All right. I mean, fair is fair, right? Let's just be fair. That's all I ask for. That's all I ask. Right. Joseph Crispin says Alyssa Milano thinks she has rights and you don't. Exactly. That's how a lot of these people are. It's really weird, but people are starting to wake up to it. They're seeing it. They're seeing how these people operate, and they're like, nah, this doesn't make any sense. You know, how they can do certain things, but I can't. You know, it's not really how it's supposed to go. All right. But we're going to get into Breonna Taylor. I want to get into it because this is really, really crazy. I'm going to talk about everything else, too. I'm going to talk about RGB. Not RGB, pardon me, RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg's quote-unquote dying wish. Oh, and before I get into Breonna Taylor, do you guys believe that Ruth Bader Ginsburg had a dying wish? That's why I said in the video, allegedly, the granddaughter said that Ruth Bader Ginsburg allegedly said, don't fill my seat until after the election. It's funny how in 2016, Ruth Bader Ginsburg said the opposite thing on camera. So which do I believe? The second-hand, third-hand, or whatever account of the granddaughter given to the media, or do I believe Ruth Bader Ginsburg in her own words in 2016, where she was saying the president is elected for 4 years, not 3 years. So when there's a vacancy, it's yours to fill. The reason why it didn't get filled in 2016 is because we had the Senate on the right. We stood up to the left and said, no, you're not going to confirm Merrick Garland. We're done. Yeah, it's over with. We're going to get Trump in here. It's going to be a wrap. You're not going to be here anymore. You know, that was a problem. That was a good moment for me. That was a really proud moment to have the Republicans stand up against the left, stand up against Barack Obama. You got the power. Go ahead and flex it. People say, oh, Lindsey Graham's a hypocrite. So what? Call him whatever you want to. Don't call him broke. Don't call him collect from the penitentiary. And don't call him on the wrong side of history. How about that? All right. We got the votes. We got the presidency. We're going to confirm whoever we want to confirm. We're going to confirm Amy Coney Barrett or somebody else. It doesn't really matter. As long as they can get the job done, as long as they're a good candidate, we're going to go ahead and get cracking. And then once you have Clarence Thomas retire, which he may, because he said he might want to retire pretty soon. But once he retires, let's go ahead and put in my man, Daniel Cameron. Daniel Cameron, hey, man, if you're watching this, you did an excellent job today out there giving the press conference about Breonna Taylor. You did an excellent job, sir. I was saying, hey, Daniel Cameron for president, you did an excellent job. Fantastic. Straight to the point, no emotion, but at the same time, you're empathetic towards Breonna Taylor's family. Because I understand Breonna Taylor was somebody to somebody. You did what I'm saying? Like, she had a mom and dad, cousins, friends, family, siblings. You know, I know she had kids or not, but she was somebody to somebody. So he expressed compassion for that. But at the same time, he supported his police officers 1,000%. He supported the law 1,000%. He supported the grand jury 1,000%. He respected the law and the process about how things are done, the rules, all of that. He did a great job. Young man, he's 2 years younger than me. Now, matter of fact, he's a year younger than me. He's 34 years old, not quite 35. So, hey, fantastic job. Like I said, you can run for president maybe next year, Daniel Cameron. Not next year, but 2024. Or you can become a Supreme Court justice. Whatever you want to do, man, I got you. I'm right there with you. And that'd be a great pick, matter of fact, as a Supreme Court justice. If he's 34 years old right now, I mean, imagine how long he'd be in office. He could be there 50 years. That'd be a fantastic, solid pick to succeed Clarence Thomas. Excellent pick. All right. I feel you, Bobby K. 12 million, no empathy for me. I understand. I do feel you. Let's go ahead and get into Breonna Taylor. And again, shout out to my main man, Daniel Cameron. I met him at Black Voices for Trump back, what was that, last year, right around October, November, when we still could travel without masks and stuff on. But real nice dude, real pleasant, real personable, can speak really well. I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of Daniel Cameron. But now, Breonna Taylor, no officers were charged for her death. No officers were charged for her death. Hold on, it's a donation right here from Big Al. Big Al says if Breonna Taylor was not black, BLM would thank the cops. Pretty much. But let's go back to this whole thing. The officer that got charged did not get charged for Breonna Taylor's death. I was watching Fox News. I was watching Harris Faulkner's show, Outnumbered Overtime, and there was a lawyer on there right when the whole thing popped, right when the judge read the charge from the grand jury, and he interpreted what was that, wanton endangerment as second-degree murder, but that's not what it was. First of all, ain't no degree of murder in Kentucky, number one, and number two, the wanton endangerment is not a charge when you kill somebody. Wanton endangerment is the equivalent of reckless endangerment in Virginia. I know guys that got locked up for that. They might do 5 years. Basically, what that is, you just kind of shooting indiscriminately. That's reckless endangerment, and that's pretty much what they're saying that he did, because he shot bullets into the neighbor's house, and the house was occupied. So they're saying he should get charged for that. He might beat that charge because he wasn't shooting he wasn't just like shooting for no reason. There was a reason why he was shooting. Okay. And then the apartment next door, that was just an accident. He didn't mean to shoot into the house. And I don't think anybody in that house got hurt. Now, if somebody got hurt in the house, that's a different story. If you're on the couch minding your business, all of a sudden you're getting shot through the window and it's by an officer, now you're in trouble. But I don't think he actually shot anybody. And evidence shows that none of his bullets hit Breonna Taylor. The officer who actually killed Breonna Taylor did not get charged at all, and rightfully so. Let's go back. Let's go back before the actual shooting. I'm going to get into it. If you didn't watch my video, you're going to get a recap right here. And before I continue, get a video with a thumbs up. I like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. But I got to back up. And shout out to my brother, Brandon Tatum, for giving the facts straight from the jump. The documents, all of that, the warrants, pictures, surveillance video, all of that. And if you've not seen it, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. Click on the recent Breonna Taylor article. All of the links will be in the sources section at the bottom of the article, but I'll keep moving. Now, Breonna Taylor was involved in the dope game. I'm not saying she was a dope boy or a dope girl on the block slinging drugs. That's not how it works. When you're talking about selling drugs, it's kind of an operation. You're going to have the connect, the supplier, whoever gives you the drugs. You're going to have a house where the drugs are at. If you're going to be cooking drugs, manufacturing stuff, like if you're going to be making powder in the crack or whatever you're doing, if you're going to be packaging drugs, it'll be a spot for that. Some guys have a trap house where you make the drugs and you have the drugs. Some guys sell and package the drugs right there. It's like a warehouse. Like, imagine having a warehouse where you make shirts and you store them and you sell them at the same place. That's kind of what a trap house generally is, but not all the time. Anyway, she was on surveillance camera, but one of these pole cameras. If you've never seen a pole camera, in some parts of the country, they have these cameras on top of poles, and they're put there to reduce crime. But they had their trap house right in front of the pole camera. So they were getting clear 1080p, 60 frames a second video of all the drugs that were going on. So they're building the case. They're not really going to just hop in and pop you right away. You know, if it's a big case, it goes to the federal agents and it'll build for a long time. I know guys that got popped like that. You know, they try to say I was involved with some drugs because I was going to the place a lot. But I was just going there because I was delivering like flyers for the restaurant. I ain't know about no drugs. I never been arrested. I never been involved with no drugs. I don't even drink alcohol, so that's not my thing. But anyway, the trap house was right in front of the pole camera, and Breonna Taylor's car and her herself were seen on camera. What she was doing, I don't really know. Was she picking up orders? Was she dropping off orders? Was she delivering money? She was involved with the dope game. So there was a warrant for the trap house and also for her house. And the warrant for her house had her name on it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna try to pull it up right quick so you guys can see it. So it's not just me blowing smoke. You know that this is the reality of the situation. The warrant did have her name on it. And the police did knock and announce, according to the police. Now, of course, the boyfriend who shot at the police is going to say they didn't knock. But why would they say they did knock? Because that would hurt him. There was a person upstairs, a nearby witness, who said that the police did knock and announce. The police said they knocked and announced. So did the witness. The media and the left, the leftist extremists are saying that they didn't knock, they didn't announce. It was a no-knock warrant. And shout out to Rand Paul. Unfortunately, he has a Breonna law which seeks to end no-knock warrants. But there was no need to call it the Breonna law or to even start this, because this was not a no-knock warrant situation. Yes, there was a no-knock warrant in place, but they did not use it. They knocked and announced. That's a very key thing. So no, Breonna Taylor was not sleeping. She was not in her bed, which is what the media ran with for a long time. She was awake and in the hallway with the boyfriend. And here's the warrant. Matter of fact, again, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. Go to the Breonna Taylor article. I think it's the first one on the website. Go to the bottom of the article. There's a sources section, and you'll see a thing that says Breonna Taylor warrant. It's clear, black and white. This is on reason.com, and you can see her right there. All right. Jamarcus Glover, Adrian Walker, Breonna Taylor. Okay. And the warrant, matter of fact, let's read some of the warrant, shall we? All right. Let me see if I can. No, I won't. It won't. But I'm going to just read it for you and scroll over as I have to. Now, let me see. And just go up a little bit. You see where it says search warrant. All right. And this is Louisville Metro Police Department. And it has pictures of the house and everything. All right. Let me see. A multifamily 2-story apartment complex that consists of beige vinyl siding, multicolored brick, and brown shingles. All right. So there it is. And then they got the car, pictures of the car, license plate, the date of birth, all that good stuff. Name, black female, all of that, right? They got the VIN number of the car. They got all of that. Okay, so check it out. They want to seize the following described personal property: marijuana, cocaine, heroin, meth, and all illegal narcotics or paraphernalia as described in violation of KRS 218A. Any monies that are proceeds from drug trafficking, any safes that are used to store illegal narcotics or money, any weapons that may be used to protect illegal narcotics or money, any paperwork that may be a record of narcotic sales or that may indicate the transport, concealment, or sales of narcotics. Yes, some of these dope boys do keep ledgers. Not very smart, but it is what it is. Okay, let me see. Any paper that may be evidence of individuals living in the residence. Any documents to include mail matter, which may indicate financial activity stemming from illegal activity. Any electronic recording media, computers, software, cameras, other such devices. So they got a warrant for everything in the house. Her name is on the warrant, right? So they execute 2 warrants at the same time. 1 warrant on the trap house and then another one on the place where Breonna Taylor was living with her boyfriend, the so-called boyfriend. There was 2 boyfriends. There was 2 boyfriends if you're kind of confused. One boyfriend was the guy she was living with. The other one was the guy that had the dope house that got raided at the same time. So they raided the dope house. They found drugs and guns, of course, and money. And then raid Breonna Taylor, or they try to raid Breonna Taylor's house. They knock. They announce. No response from the inside. So they breach. I think they hit it with a battering ram. And when they did that, the boyfriend shoots at the officer. He hits one officer in the leg and an artery. He had to get a 5-hour surgery. If he didn't get that, he could have bled out and died. All right. So when the officer gets shot, the police return fire. Breonna Taylor got hit at least 6 times, according to Daniel Cameron, what he said today at the press conference. Now, 1 bullet was what killed her. That did not come from the guy that got charged. He was charged because of wanton endangerment by shooting into the next door neighbor's house. That did not hit anybody or injure anybody or anything like that. It was just, he could have done it and they weren't a target. So that was what he got charged for. He probably beat it, but anyway, 1 bullet hit her that actually killed her, and it killed her in a matter of like less than 2 minutes. So nobody got charged because the boyfriend shot first. The police say the boyfriend shot first, and there's an interview from the boyfriend in jail where he says he shot first. The only thing that he says that the police don't say is that the police didn't announce themselves. That's the only thing that they say that he didn't say. But the media did not say that the boyfriend shot first. The media did not say that Breonna Taylor was not in her bed sleeping. They didn't say that she was in the hallway right next to him. And my question is, how does she get shot 6 times, but the boyfriend doesn't get shot at all? You want to say human shield? That's what looking like to me. Because, okay, let's just do a little bit of basic common sense logic here. If I am the boyfriend, which I'm not, but let's just say the boyfriend was in a position to be able to shoot the officer. He's not going to shoot behind Brianna, like around her. Like if she's right here in front of him, he's not going to reach around her and shoot his gun. That doesn't make any sense. She'll be to the side of him, behind him, somewhere not in the way, so he's able to shoot straight and not have an obstruction, because the bullet did travel from his gun and strike the officer. All right. Now, when they started shooting back, what has to happen is he probably got her in front of him, or he moved out the way, and then she took the bullets that came. Because remember, this is a very quick thing. We're doing Monday morning quarterback. This is all happening like a matter of seconds. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. You can empty an entire mag in a matter of 2 or 3 seconds. With a handgun, 10 rounds, you can go ahead and empty that real quick. It's not a thing that takes a lot of time, right? So that was probably human shield type situation. The reason why Breonna Taylor got killed is because of the boyfriend. He did that. If he would just come out and not shot at the police, she would still be living. Simple. They knocked, they announced themselves. All they had to do was come out. And the reality is, if there was actually a no-knock warrant, they wouldn't have died, in my humble opinion, or Breonna Taylor wouldn't have died. It wouldn't have been no shootout, because you caught by surprise. They run in, they got light shining on you, and if it's at night and they got light in your face, you can't see. You're blinded, you can't see what's going on. They can see you, but you can't see them because of the contrast between the darkness and then the bright light right here in your face. So if they would have done that, they probably would come by surprise, locked him up, and we wouldn't even be here right now today. But they wanted to not use the no-knock warrant and knock, and that's probably what caused the shootout. So it is what it is. I'm glad that nobody got charged for her death. One guy did get charged, but not for her death. The guy that got charged did not even hit Breonna Taylor with his gun at all. He did not shoot her at all. The guy that actually shot her did not get charged, nor did the other guy who shot at her or shot her. So it is what it is. But at $12 million, I'm going to talk about that right quick, too. So a few days ago, she got a settlement from Louisville police. Well, it wasn't her that got it. Her family got the settlement from Louisville police, or the city of Louisville, for $12 million. They'll give you that because it's a lawsuit. It's going to drag out. It'll cost a lot. And then it can be bad PR, and that could cause a lot of civil unrest if you're trying to fight it. So go ahead and pay it. That happens a lot. I said the story last time about the hitman that killed people, that it was a black hitman who killed black people for money, right? As a matter of fact, he killed one guy for money. Black guy killed a black guy for money. And another guy was an innocent bystander because he could not get his target. So the guy got paid some money to kill somebody. He went to the spot to kill him, and he missed his target. So he's mad, he's upset. A guy's just outside standing, waiting for his daughter to come out. It's like 9 o'clock in the evening. It's not the middle of the night. It's just like a regular time to be outside. He was just standing there, and the guy still had a gun in his hand. So he shot him for no reason, another black guy. I did not know him, but I knew people that knew him. A degree of separation. I knew his last name, people that had his last name, went to school with and everything, right? And I know that neighborhood. I've been around the neighborhood before. I know people that live there. So that was a little bit too close to home for me. But the police tried to apprehend him so he couldn't go kill anybody else. Now, when they're trying to apprehend him, he is in the car with his girlfriend and a baby. Like, I'm talking about an infant, goo goo gaga. You know what I'm talking about? So when the police are approaching him to try to apprehend him, he gets a tech off the ground. I mean, it's like a little, maybe like a fully auto. He puts his feet up against the actual door, leans back against his girlfriend, and begins to fire at the police. Before they do anything, they're just trying to walk up to the car. He shoots at the police, and they shoot back, of course. They kill him, he's dead, and then one bullet goes through him, hits her, and she dies from one bullet, and they pay her family out, right? But she's riding around with this guy that's a hitman who had guns in the car. Like, it was a gun that was on the floorboard next to her feet. So she knew what was going on, but they paid her family out. This is how it goes. Benjamin Crump, I'm gonna talk about him right quick. Benjamin Crump, the ambulance chaser that you always see at one of these things where it's a black person that gets shot by police or a white guy or something like that, some kind of racial grievance issue with a person that is not black, usually a police officer. He's not trying to win cases. He's like a civil attorney. He's just trying to get the money on the back end of a lawsuit because he knows that if there's a lot of PR behind it, he can drum up a lot of the hate and division and riots and stuff like that. He can get paid on the back end because he doesn't want to do any more riots, civil unrest. It's a hustle. It's all a game. But the game is ruining lives. It's ruining businesses. It's killing people. It's got to stop. It should be illegal to do what he's doing, but he's doing it. And everybody knows it. Anytime somebody dies like this, you know it's going to be Ben Crump. He's a new and unfortunately improved Al Sharpton. An ambulance chaser, a tree shaker, a shakedown artist is what he does. So it is what it is. All right. And Benjamin Crump can't even really talk for real. It's like he's a lawyer, he's a spokesperson, but he knows how to get that money on the back. He's not trying to actually win. He's trying to get a lawsuit settlement. That is all. All right. Thank y'all again for being here. I appreciate you guys. You guys are the best audience on the internet. I had to get that off my chest. That was on my chest, like right here on my chest. I had to get it off. Rest in peace to Breonna Taylor. It's unfortunate that she died, but it's not anyone's fault that she died except for her boyfriend and her. They're involved with the dope game because check it out. When you're involved with the dope game, you can easily get killed by a fiend or by a rival squad. I know guys that got like that. I know guys that have killed people in a dope game. I know guys that got shot by guys in the dope game that didn't die. I seen it. I seen it happen. My childhood best friend got beat in the head with a lead pipe by a fiend. He was like 19. Okay, we're like high school age. You got beat in the head by a lead pipe. He had to get Nightingale to the hospital. He almost died because you out there, you in the drug game, and you're not among people that are using their brain properly. That's why I kind of get upset. People say, legalize drugs. Why are you going to legalize drugs? You have to understand, if people that were dope fiends were civilized, then I might even entertain it. Okay, I'm not going to use drugs, obviously, but if people could just get high and not be deranged zombies or animals, I might even be with it. But that's not how it goes. You got to have money to keep your drug habit up. It's physically debilitating. I mean, it ruins people. It ruins society. If you want to see what legalized drugs look like, look no further than right here in the US of A. Free out of Washington, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, doo-doo on the ground, needles on the ground. They have what they call like a shooting gallery, right? Where they're able to go get high on their drugs. And it's like supervised by medical professionals. They don't even go in there. They will cop a squat right outside the door of the shooting gallery and shoot up right there in front of the entrance. Because they're dope fiends, they're drug addicts. They're not going to be they're not in the right state of their mind. They can't be in the right state of their mind because they're high on drugs. That's the whole point. That's the issue here that we're dealing with. So yeah, drugs are bad. That's the long and short of it. At the end of the day, if you're involved with the drug game, you're going to encounter that kind of stuff, that kind of behavior, and you're going to encounter those that don't like selling drugs in their particular place, their property. They want to sell drugs. That's just kind of how it works. It is what it is. All right. People say that you're going to eliminate violence by making drugs legal, but what you don't understand is that people that sell drugs also sell other things. It's not just drugs they're getting into. The Mexican mafia, La M, they sell stolen petroleum. It's deep. They're into human trafficking and stuff like that. So this is really, really deep. And speaking of human trafficking, did you guys see that they made a former pimp the street czar in Free out of Washington? I did a little video about him. I spoke about Horace Lorenzo Anderson Jr. May rest in peace. Young man that died or that got killed out there in Chad's Shop in Seattle. His father was on TV, right, crying. Remember that? And there was a guy that was right next to him. And I said, I know who that guy is. I recognize him. That's Andre Taylor, a.k.a. Gorgeous Dre. Andre Taylor is a guy that is now getting paid $150,000, $150,000 to be the street czar, to find alternatives to policing. This guy was a pimp, went to jail for it and everything. He's in a movie called American Pimp. Look him up. Gorgeous Dre. That's his name. Gorgeous Dre. So he has a new hustle. Rather than being on the streets, getting the prostitute money, he's able to go get the white liberal money, that Jenny Durkin money, that Free Out of Washington money. Hey, it is what it is. You know, but that's the kind of thing that happens up there on the left coast. Hopefully it stays over there and dies out on its own and does not come over here to the south where I am. We're not going to play that over here. Not at all. Yeah. Yes, Uptown NYC. Gorgeous Dre. That's his name. Look him up. I'm not making it up. I wish I was making it up. I wish I was lying, but you can Google it, fact check me. I challenge you. Let me see. Zedoch's Cane Sword says, Seattle is stupid. They made a homeless czar. Hold on. I'm going to go back to that. So they had a homeless czar? Really? What can the homeless czar do? Make sure everybody has their fresh drugs for the day? I mean, because that's what the problem is with Seattle and Portland with the homeless. They're all on drugs. That's why they don't have a place to live, because they like to get high on drugs. Hold on. Okay. Zedoch's Cane Sword says, Seattle is stupid. They made a homeless czar a couple of years ago. The homeless got worse. Exactly. Because what you try to fix when you're talking about homelessness, quote unquote homelessness, all you can do is give them more services. But what you're going to do is encourage more homelessness. All right. That's kind of how it goes. It's the same thing with the unemployment, right? When they made the unemployment more lucrative than working, it's like, why work? I'm gonna just be unemployment. I get paid more being unemployed than I do working. Same thing with being homeless. It's like, why live in the projects or a bando? If I'm a dope fiend, I could just live outside and get more money, get benefits. I got 3 hots in the cot. I get free clothes. I get fresh needles. I get whatever I need. They say they spend between like 30 and 40,000 per homeless person in Seattle or San Francisco, or more than that. You're talking about more than what you might make as a firefighter in Virginia. You can get that by being a dope fiend on the streets. It's crazy, but that's why you're going to have more homelessness, quote unquote homelessness, more dope fiends, because you are encouraging it. You're spending money to get more of it. Really, you're trying to help, but you're not helping. The way to help is by not enabling. Okay, I've dealt with those that are addicted. And you can't help them to, you can't help their addiction. If you want to go get them little, get alcohol because they feel bad. No. You're making it worse. You're trying to help, but you're making it worse. You're going to just keep enabling it. That's called being an enabler. All right. But yeah, prayers to Kentucky. Hopefully they don't have a bunch of problems there. Oh, speaking of Kentucky and the problems, have you guys seen this video? Hold on. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it on the screen. This is on my Instagram page, instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. That is ANTHONY, the letter B. Don't get triggered by that. LOGAN on Instagram. Again, instagram.com/Anthony B. Logan. All right. Now, there's a whole Antifa van that pulled up in Louisville. Now, do you see what I see? Well, you might not be able to see it. You may be on audio only. But I'm looking at a U-Haul truck, a bona fide, a real actual U-Haul with Antifa and BLM and riot supplies in it. Let's check it out. They said we got shields over here. And you know what? They put trash on the ground immediately. I'm talking about as soon as the truck opens, they got trash on the ground. Disgusting. And this sign right here, it's a big sign that says abolish the police. And you're going to see this sign once you see some of the footage that comes from Louisville. It'll be right there at the front line.
Hey, somebody with me on this. Let's go.
Another one says, hold on. And the abolish the police sign also says F12, nice little touch. And the abolish, the A in abolish has the anarchy symbol on it. And police has ICE in parentheses. You understand? So they want to abolish the police and ICE. Nice little Pim Dash touch right there, but I digress. Another one says abolition now. So, I mean, tell me that this is not funded and not organized. Oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, ABL. It's not George Soros involved. I can't tell. I mean, that's clearly organized. Don't tell me it's not. A whole U-Haul truck with stuff inside. Come on, man. Like, be for real. And people are just going and grabbing what they know to grab. They're going to be in position. It's like a choreographed dance. This is not grassroots. It may appear to be grassroots, but it's not. This is well-funded and organized, period. They're not from Louisville, obviously. They don't live there. They live somewhere else. My question would be, who paid for the U-Haul? Who made the signs? Who organized everybody? Where's money coming from? I could tell that these cretins don't work at all. I feel like they're out there just trying to get money by doing that. That's just what it is. Oh, are you surprised? I see you guys are surprised, but are you surprised? You shouldn't be surprised. I've been saying it for a long time that it's been organized. Don't be surprised. This is what it is. And it was the same way in 2016. Organized, riot, subversive stuff. George Soros definitely involved. All right. The left definitely involved, encouraging it. AOC said, let this radicalize you. What are we talking about radicalize? Are you trying to encourage the violence? Are you trying to encourage mob rule on the streets? Is that what's going on? Abolition of what? Hey, abolition of whatever. Abolition of whatever. America, police, heterosexuality, whatever they want to abolish, they're going to abolish. That's just what's happening. All right, hold on. Let me see. J.E. Bennett says, they tried to U-Haul down to a Soros person. Not surprised. Not surprised at all. Where's the ammo? Good question. They did have weapons, but I don't know about the ammo. Yeah. So that's just what it is. 2 officers shot at the riots in Louisville. Not good. Not good at all. See? Well, I'm glad. One thing that they have the National Guard down there already. That's already been deployed. So I'm glad we have that on deck. But we need to really get more of that. Okay. If I get any more info about the officer that got shot in Louisville, I'll give it to you guys live. Chevy Chick says, ABL, in your opinion, when will these riots end? As soon as the election is over with, I say not as soon as, I say like January, because it was the same thing going on in 2016, the exact same thing. The riots and the protests amped up right around summertime, and then, towards the election, and then it died down by January. It was pretty much over because the budget ran out. You can see it on Google Trends, how Black Lives Matter, it peaked like 2015, 2016, and then dropped in 2017. It's been dead for 2, 3, 4 years. And now here we are again, 2020 is right back up. I mean, there's been plenty of cases of, some questionable stuff happening, but there's been no riots. The riots are happening right now because they're funded. This is just facts. All right. Yeah, I saw that Cigar Box. Cigar Box asked me, hey, have you saw the news clip with Newt? He mentioned Soros, and both anchors said he's not allowed to talk about Soros funding his violence. Yeah, I saw that. I think I did a video about that. Yeah. He was like, well, is it verboten? Can I not mention that? That was really weird. That was also on Harris Faulkner on her show, Outnumbered. Was it Outnumbered Overtime or just regular Outnumbered? I'm not really sure, but I watched that live when it was happening. I was like, really? What was that? That was really, really crazy. But not surprising at all. Not in the least bit. All right. But I'm going to give you guys some info on the whole Breonna Taylor thing whenever I get it. Okay, so Ian Mouse Young on Twitter says the police in Louisville were trying to kettle rioters and one of them shot at the police. That's what happened so far. So again, I give you guys info as I get it. And I do have all my Twitters and stuff up. I could put stuff on the screen so y'all don't need to worry about it. I'll get you everything as soon as I got it. All right. And then what else we got going on? Oh, speaking of Black Lives Matter, it's a good segue. Did you guys see about their About Us page on their website got taken down? Well, not the About Us, but the page that says what we are. And on that page, it had all things that they're about. Destroying the family, transgenderism, queer affirming, all kind of stuff. Nothing about the heterosexual man, nothing about the nuclear family. Well, there was something there about nuclear family, but they don't want nuclear family. They want to destroy nuclear family. That's what they really want. So people were reading that and they were being turned off by Black Lives Matter. Those that were on the left, and they think Black Lives Matter, they believe in the movement, I think it's a good movement, but they don't really understand what's going on. They're kind of like normies, right? So they just hear the phrase Black Lives Matter and think, oh, what's wrong with that? They don't understand what's really happening in the street. So you got people's moms and dads being sent this page by their kids, and they're saying, hey, how about you read that and see what's going on? You know, friends sending it to friends, read what's going on. You know, my father-in-law did that. He read the page and was like, well, I don't like that. I'm not into that. Most people that you see out here are just regular normies. They don't really look at politics like that. So they're not like us. They're not really into it. So they don't really understand what BLM was all about. But then when they read that page, they're talking about transgenderism and no nuclear family and queer affirming. They're like, no. You know, people that go to church and stuff, they're not really with it. So they took that whole page down to try and hide it so you can't see it anymore. But I got it in the video. You know, I got it on the web archive. I got it downloaded. You can't stop it now. I already put it in the video. What are you going to do? It's already out there. But they tried to hide it, of course. Dapper Dave 527 says, how much of the BLM money has actually gone back to Black communities? That's a great question. That's an excellent question. I don't know of any that's gone back to the Black community. I don't know where it goes. I know some of it. I know some of what they raise goes to Democratic candidates. That's a fact. Because Act Blue is their payment processor, and they also get money from their payments. So prime example, if you go to blacklivesmatter.com and donate to them, some of that cash goes to Act Blue. It's just like PayPal taking a piece of your money that you may donate. That's how Act Blue is. And what Act Blue does is use some of the money that you give them to donate to certain quote unquote charities, including Democratic candidates, because Act Blue is how Democrats raise money. Right. So it's all right there in this system. This is a Democratic Party raising money. They said Joe Biden got the biggest bump. Like, you're talking about millions of dollars right when George Floyd died. How did that happen? You tell me. How did that happen, huh? Oh, it's just small donors. Whatever. That's BLM money from Act Blue being infused into the campaign. All right. Or money that is given straight to Joe Biden because of BLM. All right. Oh, I'm gonna donate to him. Same thing as giving to BLM. That's what's going on with the whole situation. Okay. So the money, from my point of view, goes towards Democratic candidates, towards Democratic ideals, towards BLM themselves, towards the riots. How are these riots funded? It's got to be money coming from somewhere. You can't organize thousands of people all over, like thousands of people in multiple cities all over the nation for free. It's not how it works. You got to have a budget for that. You got to have cash for that. Where is it coming from, BLM? I don't know of anything they've done that's actually helped the Black community at all. I've not seen them anywhere. Like, you may see some photo ops of guys giving them real big checks to things when they actually donate to certain situations. Shout out to my brother Brandon Tatum for doing that, for actually donating to places. I've never seen BLM do that. Now, I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I've never seen that. And you would think that they'd be doing stuff like that. Why not? They want to help the Black community. They want to help police brutality victims. When George Floyd died, they got 20 million in one day. And the family of Floyd got on TV and said, hey, we didn't get $1 of that. Now, they may have gotten some now to try and clean it up, but right when it happened, they didn't get any of that money. How is that possible? If it's about those that have been affected by police violence and you're trying to, help them, why not George Floyd's family? You raised 20 million in one day off of George Floyd's name. Why not break his family off some of that money? Why you still got them in the hood trying to struggle to get face masks and stuff like that? What's really going on? They don't give any kind of money at all, but I digress. All right. So it is what it is. Exactly. Sadly +4. Money going to BLM is how Joe Biden's donations are so high. It's facts. It's big facts. If anybody sees Joe Biden, he looks like he's dead right now. He looks like a specter walking. You would not give him any money if you had a brain in your head. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or whatever. He looks like he's dead right now. Why would you give him money? It doesn't make any sense. You're throwing your money away. Just put it in the toilet and flush. It's the same thing. The money is given to other things that he gets through the back end. So that's what it is. All right. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg's dying wish, hypocrite Alyssa Milano. We'll talk about all that a little bit later. I'm behind on my super chats, so I'm gonna get to those right quick, and then we get into the phone calls. I heard about that. An officer got shot in Louisville. I'm not sure what kind of conditions he's in or whatever. Hopefully he'll be okay. But I heard that he did get shot or shot at. So hopefully we'll see what's going on. Alrighty, let's get to super chats right quick, and then we get to the calls. Shout out to Retro Gamer 81 who says, did you see the video of the girl flipping off Trump supporters and she forgot she was driving, hit the car in front of her, max level TDS? Hilarious. Hilarious. People are crazy, man. That TDS is a disease, man. that TDS is a real disease. And you know what? I'm not even joking, because I was reading this article. Matter of fact, I might have done a video on it a while back, maybe like last year, where there were psychiatrists talking about people on the couch, complaining about Trump and whatnot. Like, it's a real thing. People are having mental health distress over Donald Trump being the president. Did you guys see the girl I played last week with the dog sounds, like the little yipping? Like, that's max level TDS all day long. Take it to Inspirational Patriots who say, Attorney General Daniel Cameron did an excellent job in explaining the case and why the grand jury came to the decision that they did. We love that he said that their job was to go off of facts, evidence, not emotion, all day long. That's all you can ask for. You're not worried about emotion, how you feel. Look at the facts and look at the evidence. That's it. Thank you to Azure Phoenix. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, who says, defund the police so we can all call the police and then complain there's no police. That's privilege. Police for me, but not for thee. Exactly. Thank you for that. Thank you to Spectrum Ball, who says, there's a clown from Black Guns Matter excusing Brianna on Tim Pool's stream, calling the cops liars even though she's on the warrant. I know you're talking about. I ain't going to say what it is, but I'm not surprised. You know, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I mean, the facts are the facts, man. We can't even really, what are we even talking about if we're talking about facts? I don't really care how you feel. It's all about just what makes sense. All right. Matter of fact, let me go to it right quick, see if it's what I'm talking about. Yeah. yeah. Man, it's unfortunate that she died, but the facts are the facts, man. People died and you can't get mad at the facts, man. I know guys that's dead right now, and when they died, I couldn't get mad at how it happened, because I mean, it's just the facts. You might be sad that they died because you knew them, but you can't get mad at how they died, because it's not that kind of situation. It wasn't anything malicious on their part, on the part of the officers. So why are you mad? Why are you upset? The documents are out. I have all the evidence, and I've been had the evidence. Again, shout out to my brother from another mother, Brandon Tatum. He has all the evidence, straight hardcore facts, documents. The grand jury. I mean, it's not even the cops. It's the grand jury that came back with that. So you got 12 people, probably got black folks, white folks, everything in there. It ain't the cops, it's the grand jury. And the judge read what was going on. Thank you to Big Al, who says, if Breonna Taylor was not black, BLM would thank the cops. Shout out to Hydro PX, who says, do you think it's okay that black men follow Candace Owens? That's not the order of God. That's a good question. I don't know what you mean by follow. I don't really follow people necessarily. I support them. If you want to call it following, that's fine too. But I support Candace Owens. But I feel like we can all be leaders in our own right as men. All right. You can support people, you can help people, but at the end of the day, as a man, you are the leader in your space, rather than be leading yourself or leading your family. But you can support others and help them do whatever they got to do, because we're all in this together. So shout out to my sister, Candace Owens, and you guys get her new book. She is a New York Times bestseller right now. Help her defeat Barack Obama's book. Make her be number one. She's like number 2 right now. Make her number 1. Tech is Retro Gamer 81, who says, can you imagine how frustrating it must be for normal people, in Louisville, who have to watch their city and businesses burn while they pay that $12 million? Man, it's really crazy. It's really, really crazy. Oh, Music Filmhead 90, thank you for this. I was gonna do a video on this, but I know they would flag me, and it wouldn't really make sense. I might do it on Twitter or something like that. Music Filmhead 90 says, "You see the video with Jimmy Kimmel on Black Lives Matter? Embarrassing. Keep up the great work, ABL." I saw that. Anthony Anderson, who's black, he is on the show called Blackish with Tracy Ellis Ross. He pretty much humiliated Jimmy Kimmel on TV. Made him say Black Lives Matter real loud, told him to shut up. It was disgusting. It was like some fetish type stuff. I was like, ew, man, take that behind closed doors, man. Nobody trying to see that. It was if there was a level above cringy, that's what there was. He was humiliating him to assert this whole Black Power thing. It was really just bad. I don't want to see that. You know what? That's why I've not watched the Emmys or any kind of show like that. Okay, I watch YouTube and I play my games, play my Call of Duty and stuff like that. I don't watch TV. I watch HGTV for home renovation and the news. That's it. Any kind of award show, scripted show, Netflix, I'm good. I don't want to see cuties. I don't want to see some random white guy get embarrassed by a black guy on TV like it's funny. I don't want to see that. Thank you to Liza Jean, who says, "You are a blessing for so many. Honored to be here." Well, I'm honored to have you. Thank you for being here. All right. A shout out to Flick Story Entertainment, who says, "One of the ladies was crying near the Breonna Taylor Memorial and said she was hit 8 times. It was 6 times. They don't even know the facts. I'm really getting tired of the SJW actors. How do you feel?" Oh, I'm with you, man. I've been tired of it. I've been tired of it, like, for a long time. No question. Thank you to James M, who says, "ABL, great show. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, boss." Thank you to Michelle Bryan, who says, "You know a lot about drugs. We should start a business. LOL, you are the man." Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. Hey, you know what? All I know how to do is read. I don't know nothing about no drugs. I just know how to read, you know? And I know guys that are in the penitentiary for drugs. That's all I know. But I never been involved in any of that kind of stuff. Dapper Dave 527 says, "No one is mentioning what was Taylor's actions during the shooting. The boyfriend fired first at the officers. What was her actions during that time?" That's a good question. All I know is that she was in the hallway with him. She was not in the bed sleeping. So that's a very good question, but I don't really know. Aside from her being in the hallway. Thank you to Justin Lloyd, who says, "In the drug war, stop simping for government. No more no-knock raids. The drug war is a war on people. You're glad no one is charged. You got zero cred." Why are you so mad, sir? First of all, there was no no-knock raid in the Breonna Taylor case. They knocked and announced. So I'm not really sure why you said that. That's kind of an irrelevant point. And like I was saying to you earlier, if you get beyond your emotion, the no-knock raid would have saved her life. If you worried about people's lives and whatnot, the no-knock raid would have saved her life. And you say in the drug war, okay, that's fine. But my question to you is, do you want to live next to the trap house that they had? Because I've lived next to a trap house. I've been in a trap house before. I was in a trap house when I was 5 years old with smoke from crack being blown in my face. Is that where you want to be? Do you want to have a 5-year-old boy in the crack house like I was when I was 5? In the drug war, you sound dumb. Anyway, I'll move on. Thank you to AzureMan235 for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Thank you to Terry Allman for becoming a member of the ABL squad. Thank you to Amber, who says, "God bless you, ABL, and God bless the USA." Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you to Nipin Sharma, who says, "Happy birthday, ABL." Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I turned 36 yesterday, September 22nd. Thank you to Truth First, who says, "U-Haul rental contract is in Sorrel's name." Thank you to Chevy Chick. Oh, I read that one. Thank you to Black Rocker Conservative Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Did I get that right? Who said, "Thanks for the great info, no problem." Thank you to Mun Daniak, who says, "The Twitter mob keeps the corporations in line." Thank you to A. Apron, who says, "Zombie undead lives matter." Exactly. Hey, that flashback was real, Melody. That flashback, it was like a war flashback. That shit was crazy, man. It was crazy. Yeah. Hey, I'm putting that in my book, really, about the crack house. Like, that was a real story. I ain't make that up. I'm putting that in my book whenever I write it. I've been saying that for years, but I'm going to do it one day. All right. Shout out to Anthony Steiner, who says, "They're looting in Louisville," of course. Thank you to Black Rocker Conservative Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, who says, Ruth Bader, I don't know what that, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I think you mean, had a wish, but that's why it's called a wish. Exactly. We all have wishes. We all have dreams and hopes and aspirations, but And that's going to come true. It's just a wish. It's a dream. I wish that I could fly with no plane. I can just get up one day and just be Peter Pan and fly. But I mean, reality says I can't fly. So it is what it is. Okay, we got some tea on deck. Thank you for tea. All right, perfect timing. It's like right at 9 o'clock too. Thank you to Madness Vero 80, who says, "Keep it up, brother. Love the show. Take care." Thank you for that. Thank you to Music Filmhead 90, who says, "You see the video with Jimmy Kimmel?" I read that one. Thank you to Miss Melina, who says, "Big up ABL, look forward to every Wednesday, and much love from Toronto. You should run for president next time. Happy belated birthday, by the way." Thank you for that. I appreciate you, boss. Boss lady. Thank you to Joe Ryder 84, who says, "Do you think Candace Owens is the Harriet Tubman of the Blexit movement?" I believe so. In her own way, yes, because a lot of people have been led to the promised land as a result of Candace Owens influencing them, for sure. Absolutely. You know, that's not a thing, that's not disrespectful to say at all. And people say, you know, this whole thing about white man this, white man that, like she's married to a white man. So what? Who cares? I mean, what was the Underground Railroad? Who owned those houses where people lived in or hid out in? White people. All right. And do you know that Harriet Tubman was married? Harriet Tubman was married, had a husband, and she left and did that because she wanted to. She didn't have to. He made the money. She was married, had a husband at the house, and she went and did that and did it with the help of white people. So people got to understand history a little bit better to understand kind of where we're at. So you're able to get these comparisons between Candace Owens and Harriet Tubman and stuff like that. Thank you to Leo Mazzino, who said, "Happy birthday, ABL." Thank you for that. Thank you to Anthony Steiner, who says, "ABL, how many cities will have to be looted and burned tonight to trigger martial law?" Good question. I'm not really sure the number on that, but I think some places are going to do it right away and some aren't. Just like free out of Washington, Portland, Oregon, they did it. They didn't do it, or they did it very late and had a lot of problems as a result. People died and everything else. So I'm not really sure. And Louisville, there's already a National Guard down there right now. I'm talking about immediately it happened. Thank you to Casey Martin, who says, "Notice how the Netflix movie Cuties just stopped being talked about. The left buried that story fast." Of course. You know, but I didn't forget. I did not forget at all. All right. And prayers out to Dan Bongino. He has a mask in his neck. Hopefully it's benign and everything's all right. So prayers out to Dan Bongino. All right. Let's get to the calls right quick. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And if you are watching me live, please give me a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video. Do all that good stuff. Also, if you're listening to me on an audio streaming platform, give me a 5-star rating, a review, a share. Whatever you can do, help me out on that situation. I'd appreciate you. All righty, let's get to it. Let me go ahead and start Skype up, and it'll be rocking and rolling if it wants to work properly, which it always does not. All right, let's get the sound cracking, and let's do it right. Okay. Microphone check. Speakers check. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Give me 1 second here. Alrighty, 404, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how are you?
I can't complain. Everything's good. About yourself?
I'm fine. I called last Saturday. I think I was your first caller, and I was so excited to get in and talk to you that I forgot to tell you my name. My name is Erica.
All right, Erica, what's going on?
Hey, so this is what I want to say. I know that we've been dealing with the COVID for the past 6 months, 7 months here, you know, Antifa, the burning, the looting, all these bad things going on, the pandering, everything, right?
Yeah.
But this is one thing I want to say. I want us to get excited. All of us that are Trump supporters, those of us that are conservative, this is good. We've got people like Kim Klacik, and there's a guy in New Jersey, I think his name is Billy Pimpe. But, you know, Candace Owens, all these people, these are people that are rattling up everyone and getting us to think a different way. Some people that have thought a certain way to kind of think outside the box. And then We need to support the president. This is good. I'm excited about it. I'm very excited, and I'm ready for Election Day. I got my whole Election Day game plan ready. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to be one of the first persons at the polls to vote. I'm going to come back home with my husband. We're going to do a barbecue, kind of celebrate, and then we're going to watch the election results, and hopefully we'll be celebrating Trump for 4 more years. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm excited. I want everybody to get excited about it.
And that sounds excellent. It sounds fantastic. I can't wait. I can't wait until after Election Day because I'm going to do a whole lot of gloating, a whole lot of showboating because I feel like I earned it. So I'm going to definitely enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to, when the results come, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to open my front door and say 4 more years. But thank you for all that you do. I enjoy it. I remember I first saw you a long time ago, and I was like, who is this guy? He's so, serious. He's kind of like that guy on Ferris Bueller. But I just took the time to listen to you, and you are so good. So I wish you much success. Happy belated birthday, showers of blessings. And that's it. Now I'm going to go on your website and order some stuff. So good night. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Excellent call. Loved it. Let's get to some more calls here. 317, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello?
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Yes, hi. This is Faya from Indianapolis.
All righty. What's going on?
Oh, sorry, I had you on speaker. Oh, my God, I'm surprised I got through. I'm so excited. Hi, ABL.
Hello. How are you?
Well, I'm good. I wanted to say that my sister and I, we love your show. We love you. I turned her on to you about 3 or 4 months ago, and she watches you all the time. So I had a few questions. One, I wanted to know, do you ever wear your Trump gear?
Oh, yeah.
You wear your Trump hat?
Yeah, I wear my own merch really. So how I'm dressed right now with my hat, I wear it all the time. So that's just kind of this is pretty much how I am.
Okay. Do you ever wear it out when you go to maybe to the airport or anything like that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering how to wear my Trump gear. I have a hat, I have a mask, I have shirts, I have our boy Brandon Tatum's shirt, and it's hard for me to really go out and wear it.
The best place is the airport because it's no fear in there what they're going to do because you're in a controlled environment. It's police everywhere. So, and where I live is a cool area. I see Trump flags everywhere and it's cool.
Yeah.
You see Trump flags on trucks and storefronts. So and people, they kind of got a guard up, if you have some kind of Trump gear, conservative gear on, the guard comes down, they kind of talk to you when it's all good. Make a lot of friends like that.
Yeah. I've worn the shirt and sparked a couple of conversations, but the shirt's a little different because it's the Teflon Don. I know I'm on the wrong show to be telling all that, but it's a different shirt, so people really have to notice it. But it's really hard to wear the things that say Trump 2020, and I wonder how other people, maybe if I wore it more, I would get more compliments or more people talking to me about it. But it's really hard to wear where I'm at.
Well, the question is, are you in the conservative area or a liberal area?
It's funny because you can't really tell here where I live in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay.
And I live in the general city part, and I'll tell you the truth, I probably never see anything Trump, and I might see something Biden Harris, one or two in the whole area or something like that. So I'm not quite sure.
I think now how did Indiana go in 2016? Did it go Trump?
I think they might have.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure because I just really got into politics, and just right after Trump is when I really started watching because I was wondering why they were beating them up so bad. So that's when I started to do my own research and watching and looking and learning more. So that's how I became, a Trump supporter.
Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. I think you'd be pretty much good there because It sounds like you live in an area where people like kind of in the closet, don't really want to say anything. So I think you'd be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for that. And then I have, I don't want to tie up your line too much, but I have one more comment that I really think you guys being such young conservatives and going out there and are really doing it, you all have to, I was wondering, are you guys going to put together a tour, like Brandon Tatum, Candace, Derek, not to mention everybody else, but to cross over to the other side with the twins, stuff like that.
We love to.
Terrence K. Williams.
We love to, but it's a matter of getting everybody scheduled together because everybody's very busy. So if we can get scheduled together and do something, we'd love to. So I'm gonna try to talk to some guys and see what we can do.
Yeah, you guys should try to do something at least small to start off with, and then don't forget the Bryson with you could do like a variety show type thing. So that's something you guys should try to do and maybe go to 2 or 3 cities.
Yeah, we'll see.
I would love to see you. I would travel to come see you.
Okay, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was awesome talking to you. You're so great.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Now, what I have about the officers in Louisville, 2 officers got shot, but that's all I know. I don't know anything else. And I don't know the condition or whatnot. All I know was that 2 officers got shot. That's it. This is from the news out there. WPMT Fox 43. It says 2 police officers have been shot after protests turned violent in Louisville, Kentucky, in the wake of Breonna Taylor charges that were announced today. I feel like they were going to riot regardless of what. It could have been, they could have given everybody the death penalty that was involved with her death. They still would have rioted just because. All right, let's get to some more calls. 631, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great. Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. My name is Cheryl. I'm calling from Long Island, New York. And contrary to popular belief, it is not as democratic here on the island as someone might think.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I can imagine, like, if you live kind of further out, it's probably less like New York City than being, like, right there in Queens or something like that.
Yeah, it's a whole nother world. On my block, I only have like 2 Biden-Harris placards, but like if you go around the block, there's tons of Trump stuff. And I actually haven't seen a Biden-Harris bumper sticker yet, but I see lots of Trump. It's crazy.
Wow.
But I want to ask you a question. Did you see today about Gavin Newsom wanting to ban gas-powered cars?
He wants to do what now?
Ban gas-powered cars.
Wow, that's crazy.
They're going crazy in California. I
Yeah.
think that's the only place that's worse than here.
Right, yeah, I didn't even hear that, but I mean, Gavin Newsom is crazy. I mean, like that whole California thing, the way he's governing is terrible, and people are starting to leave. It's the same thing with the city. Like, that's a good question for you. How's everything right now in the city? People kind of like abandoning or they leaving? Like, how's everything where you are?
Well, I mean, me personally, I know of, I don't know, probably like 5 people that have already planned to leave, and like 2 or 3 have already left. But the city, I was only there once, and everything is like blocked off, and nothing's open. It's all boarded up. It's like a whole, you wouldn't even think you were in New York. But I haven't been there like in the last like month, so I'm not sure if that's changed. But yeah, there's a lot of people in New York that are Republican, but you know, the city usually takes all the votes.
Right, exactly.
It makes me not even care to go out and vote, so I feel like it's not going to matter, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I hear that for sure.
Yeah, so anyway, happy belated birthday, and I love your show.
Thank you for that.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Definitely appreciate the call.
Okay, take care. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. And we got some more calls here. The lines are open. Number to call 434-658-1220. And let's go to, all right, hold on. 484, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Hi, hey, listen, I remember I talked to you last time. It's good to talk to you again, though. But I had one question. So when I talked to people about about Breonna Taylor's case, if you really think about it, I've come from these kind of neighborhoods, and I've heard the same story all the time. And you got to look at it. It's like you got to think about it this way. If you're involved with that, like you said earlier, if you're involved with that kind of lifestyle, that's what's going to happen. This is not the first time something like this has happened, or a drug dealer's girlfriend has gotten shot. Like these people, they don't want to look at facts. It's amazing how driven by emotions they are. It's ridiculous. I mean, they're just out there screaming, hollering like children, and it's like you just can't get through to them. You really cannot. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. People that are out there screeching and whatnot, they don't even really care about Breonna Taylor that much. They're just kind of out there expressing emotion that's built up from other things. You know, if you talk to them, they're talking about other things that didn't happen, their son or somebody that got killed. They're just out there just expressing emotion for no other reason other than to do it. And the media is driving it because they were saying the wrong thing from the beginning, talking about, it was a no-knock raid. She was sleeping in her bed, dumb stuff. Like you said, if it was just, a regular shooting because of some drug stuff, nobody would even care. It wouldn't even be a story. I've seen it all the time, exactly. And it's never a story.
Exactly. And one thing I got into these two debates with these two liberal guys, they were saying the same thing. Like the cops, here's what they said. They said the cops kicked in her door, didn't knock, with plain clothes. And already I'm like, you don't think, I said to them, you don't think in your mind that doesn't make sense at all? Do you hear yourself? They couldn't even hear how dumb they sound. Like, you think about it. If cops are going to drug rush, they're going to dress in SWAT uniform. They're not going to freaking plain clothes. What sense does that make if they're going to catch? No, them people, they're just so triggered. And they tried to compare the police officer to the guy who shot the child in the back of the head. Remember? I forgot. It was Cannon, right? Yeah, Cannon.
Yeah.
The guy who walked up and shot 5-year-old Cannon. But they tried to compare those police officers to that guy. And they said, what's the difference? I was like, are you serious? Do you hear yourself?
But you know what? They get so deep into the absurdity and they believe it. They repeat it. They live in these echo chambers. And when they come out of the echo chamber, they keep talking like that. And to us that don't live in there with them, it makes no sense. But to them, it makes all the sense because they've been hearing it constantly over and over and over and over. That's how brainwashing happens.
So basically, in a sense, it's like they're trapped in their own thoughts.
Yes, 1,000%. And they can't see anything else because this is what their mind believes at this point. That they're dead set in it, and you can't say a thing different other than what they believe. You can show them evidence, documents, pictures. They don't care.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And one more thing I wanted to get at you, because I don't want to hold it up, with this whole, with what I was saying with Breonna Taylor, again, with her getting shot 8 times, like you said earlier, a lot of people were since were starting to believe, okay, well, she obviously had to have been a human shield. And to be honest with you, I hope when Trump wins the election, the whole Breonna Taylor law gets thrown out, because we need no-knock warrants. We need those. There's a reason why those are around. Because I heard stories overseas when they tried to do no-knock, when they tried to kick in people's doors, people barricaded their doors, and by the time, like reinforced steel, bolted in, everything, and by the time they got the door open, the people done flushed the drugs and got rid of all the evidence. And people think they have. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was about to say, exactly. You're right.
Yeah, and another thing is, people think they got it bad over here in America. I talked to people who lived in the Middle East, and they were watching, and they saw what was going on over here, like them burning the American flags. They said them people need to get out of here. They don't belong in this country, because all this rioting and looting, we have it good over here because they let you get away with it to a certain extent. If you go into another country doing that, you'd be lucky if you go to jail. You'd be lucky if you go to jail because they'll kill you on sight.
That's right.
Do that kind of stuff.
That's right.
It's facts. It's like, and people, they hate this country, but they refuse to leave. So obviously they don't hate it like they say they do. They're just miserable people.
Right. I'm with you, man, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah. Can you hear me clearly?
Now, are you perfect, man? Everything's coming through loud and clear.
All right. All right, gotcha. All right, then. Thank you, ABL. I always watch your videos. Honestly, I'm the type of person, I wait for you to upload videos. I'm just at my phone, YouTube, just waiting. I'm like, when is he going to upload another video?
Thank you.
All right, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Have a good one.
Same to you, man. All right, good call. Very good call. All right, we got a whole lot of calls on the line. I'm trying to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. 956 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, my name's Jeff. I agree with the last caller 100%. He was spot on. And then Erica was, I love her enthusiasm. Let me tell you something. I'm in Texas, and the area that I'm in is really blue. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of people. I'm surrounded by a lot of Latinos because I'm right next to the border. And I was in the Trump train, man. I got to cruise in 500 cars on the Trump train, and that was cool.
Oh, man.
Everything, it was sweet. Everyone was smiling, honking, waving, saying hello. They were just the nicest people ever. It was a beautiful thing to witness. There's no meanness. There's no hatred. There's no, I'm white. They're Hispanic. There's other people. Nobody saw race. We saw patriots. And there's flags and just great people just supporting America. It was a beautiful thing to witness, man. I'm telling you. So the Trump train is rolling down here, dude.
You know what? Those like any kind of rally, any kind of a caravan like that is always great, man. To be around good people that aren't going to be screeching and acting crazy, just really nice, just genuinely nice and thoughtful people. All that race stuff, all that, it's out the window. It's all about just being good people, man. So it's one thing about this whole Trump thing is that it's bigger than him. It's about people, being kind to one another, have a community back. It's great, man. I'm really just appreciating the community that has been built as a result of Trump.
I agree 100%. And I got to say one thing about Trump. I was a big Ted Cruz supporter at first, but you know what? I'm so glad that Trump won, and here's the reason why. Trump exposed the media for what they are, and I don't think Cruz would have done the same. He really exposed them badly. And it's fantastic, and I love him for that. But also, I'm sorry, I wanted to tell you, hey, happy belated birthday. And one last thing, a couple callers back, they're right. I would love to see you get on with a couple of people. One, Hodge twins, Nick DiPaolo. He will tame it down. He won't swear because I know you never swear on your podcasts. And the last one is Steven Crowder, because he is, while he's a comedian, he has Ted Cruz on his podcasts. So I think that would be a good place for you as well. And he's got a huge following. So anything that'll help you get the word out, just spread your message out there, because you're spot on, my friend. And I appreciate you so much.
I thank you for the call, man, and your support. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, great call. Great call again. All right, let's do... Oh, you guys, the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. If you want to do Skype, there is an email for that in the description box below. Add me on there, and you're able to get through that way. It'll be all good. All righty. So let me get to my next one here. I know, calling on the line, who am I speaking to?
This is Zach. What's up?
What's going on, man? You called back, I see.
Yeah, I did. I called back because I got hung up the other time. It does, Skype, no lie, it does have like 5-minute limit when you're not paying for Skype. So, but I just wanted to call in and just talk to you. I mean, I voted yesterday. I got a lot of shit for it. I took a lot of shit.
Hold on, Carly. No, you can't cuss now. Come on now. Got to do better.
Sorry. I took a lot of crap. Because I didn't vote for any of the candidates that people wanted me to vote for, so I took a lot of crap for that. But I stood my ground. It was a very hard decision since I didn't really know who to vote for. And then I found out that I could write in the guy I wanted to vote for. So I thought that was a pretty good thing. But this whole Breonna Taylor thing is just out of control. They should have been charged. They should be in jail for life. It's kind of a bunch of hooey, if you ask me. I mean, what they did was illegal, at least in my opinion, and there needs to be justice for. I mean, I know you disagree with that.
Okay, so why did they do something illegal? Like, what did they do that was illegal?
Well, they killed her. They killed her. That's a crime. Murder is illegal. They had no reason.
No. Wait. Hold on. You may kill somebody. That doesn't mean it's murder. You know, that's called homicide. Murder is an actual crime. It could be manslaughter. It can be an accident. It could be, it can be self-defense. Murder is an actual crime, but homicide is the act. Yes, it was homicide, but it was not murder because that was not the charge. So why do you think it was murder as a specific charge?
Well, I just think that because what they did, I mean, homicide. I just think that what they did was bad. I just think that you killing someone unjustifiably means that you should go to prison.
But why wasn't justified though? Because the boyfriend shot first. So if somebody shoots you, you can shoot them back.
Then the boyfriend. Okay, if the boyfriend shot, then you shoot the boyfriend. If you're gonna shoot anybody, if she shot, then I can understand that. I'm not saying it's right either way. All I'm saying is that why not shoot the guy that was shooting you?
Well, I mean,
if I'm shooting you.
Okay, go ahead. Sir, go ahead.
Oh, okay, I was just gonna say that, like, if I were to shoot you, and there's someone else in the room, like my girlfriend's in the room, you're not going to shoot my girlfriend. You're going to shoot me and not my girlfriend because my girlfriend's not involved. That's how it should be.
Okay. Now, here's a question, though. Do you know what was happening in the room? Like the specific logistics of what was happening, like as far as the boyfriend moving, Breonna Taylor moving,
I don't know.
the visibility?
I don't know. Do you?
So, I mean, I don't know. But what I do know is that the boyfriend shot. Now, the police are going to return fire in a direction in which the boyfriend shot from because the officer got shot by the boyfriend. So you have the right to shoot back. Now, according to the documents and according to what the boyfriend said, Brianna and the boyfriend were in the hallway together. So they were very close together. All right. So the boyfriend is the reason why she got shot because he was right next to her. The bullets, you can't be super laser accurate all the time, number one. And number two, he could have used her as a human shield, all right, to put right in front. And then the whole thing is happening within a matter of 2-3 seconds. She could have got shot because something that he did. So you got to blame not the boyfriend, but I mean, not the police, but the boyfriend. The boyfriend shot. And that's the reason why Breonna Taylor got shot. It wasn't because they just aimed for her.
No, but that's true. But the only reason why I shot because if you hear someone come into your house and you have a gun, and he legally has a gun, if you have someone in your house and you have a gun in your room, the first thing I would think of is I'm going to try and find out who it is and I'm going to try and get that person. That's how I would feel. I live in a safe neighborhood, but if I heard someone come into my house and I had a gun in my room, the first thing I would do is grab my gun and make sure that it's not a bad person that's trying to harm us. That's the first thing I would do.
Well, see, but hold on, wait, pause. The police said that they knocked and announced several times. They said, open the door, police, and they had a search warrant. Okay, so that they did that. They announced themselves several times. Somebody upstairs said that they announced themselves and they knocked. So there was a witness and also the police. If you say they didn't knock, you're taking word of the boyfriend. So at that point, it's a matter of who said what. The police said one thing, so did the witness. They knocked and announced. So if they open the door, police, you got to open the door for the police, right? And what you can't do is when they breach your home, because they can't do that, they got a search warrant, and they had a no-knock warrant on top of that, they can breach your home. You can't shoot the police because they can shoot you back. And that's what happened.
I mean, you're right. I'm not saying that you're wrong.
That's just law. That's just law. It's not about me being right.
Okay, well,
it's just a law.
I think I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're right either. All I'm saying is that you guys hear all the sides, and I've sent you links to people. There's a guy that is perfect talking about this on this issue.
Is he a lawyer? Is he in Louisville? Because the Attorney General explained it very well.
No, he's a veteran.
So not a lawyer. Well, check it out. Hear me out. Hold on. The Attorney General of Kentucky, Daniel Cameron, an actual lawyer, he explained it very well. He's actually in there in Kentucky. He's privy to the evidence we're not privy to. He has all the information right in front of him. He explained what happened. And what I told you right now was what the actual lawyer from Kentucky said. Well, I would say
I'm not saying that, but lawyers can be wrong. They can be corrupt.
But sir,
I mean,
listen to me now. Listen. The lawyer has all the information that you don't have, that I don't have. So whose word do you take? A guy that's not there, that's now have all the information, or the attorney general who's right there and is handling the case? He has all the information that we don't have. How can you or I or the other guy know more than he does? We can't. It's not possible.
I'm not saying this. He made this kind of before this whole like verdict and stuff.
Oh, of course.
He made it, and but I'm just saying that like it's still worth checking out because like there's I live in the Milwaukee.
For what? I mean, he doesn't know anything more than what Attorney General does. So why would I watch that?
Because
that made no sense.
Because the reason I watch you is because I watch a lot of left-wing people as I'm a left-wing guy. So to get out of that, just listening to left-wing people all the time, I got to listen to people who have a different perspective. Even though I disagree with you, you're one of the only people I say this all the time that I can actually stomach once. But it's like, it's just, I think you should watch other perspectives.
No, hold on. Okay, I got you. I got more calls on the line, but I'm going to say this and I'm going to bounce. Okay. The Attorney General gave facts. It's not about left, right, or nothing. It's about the facts of the case. It's all that matters. You can read the documents. You can read the warrant. I'm not worried about left or right or politics in that situation. It's about what the facts are. And the facts are that the officers are justified. The law is black and white. That's it. Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, it's about the law. That's it. It's black and white. It ain't me doing anything else. It's just what it is. All right. The phone lines are blowing up. Modern Renaissance, man. I see you in the chat, boss. But you have like an 8 number. I'm going to try to get you on here in a moment. Matter of fact, if you can hear my voice, go ahead and call back, man, because the lines are blowing up. I need you to call like right now, ASAP, as you hear my voice. And thank y'all for being here. You guys are fantastic. I definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you hear so far, give me a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And that's how we're going to keep rocking and rolling. All right. I'll get to you next, Renaissance man. All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, what's up? Can you hear me, bro?
I hear you pretty well.
Yeah, bro, I just want to first talk about Cindy McCain, bro. Now, let me ask you a question, bro. Are you shocked or do you see it as a game changer that Cindy McCain endorses Joe Biden?
Not at all. It's just like Kasich endorsing Joe Biden. It's the same thing to me.
Exactly, bro. And it's just so frustrating how the media takes people as fools. How they're like, oh my God, Cindy McCain endorsing Joe Biden. This is some mainstream news. Like this is really gonna shift the Republicans toward Biden. I'm like, are y'all dumb? the woman's husband hated Trump. Like they're over here fighting each other, and y'all expect Cindy McCain to just bust out and vote for Trump. And then on top of that, bro, and it's these elite Republicans who we voted against in 2016, who Cindy McCain reminds me of that because, of course, she goes to the media. Like, why we got to know who you vote for? You know what I'm saying? Why you got to announce you to the world, go on interviews? And she goes to, I forget who she interviewed, one of the legal media outlets. And she's like lying, talking about, I thought hard about this. I was like, this woman is a lie. She ain't think hard about it. She was like, you need to invite Trump to your husband's funeral. So don't sit there and act like you were.
You there? I can't hear you. Tariq, are you there? All right, I'll give you a little bit of time. I can't hear you. If you're talking right now, I can't hear you at all. I think you got a poor connection. That's what it's saying right now on the screen. All right, give me about 5 more seconds. I got to get to the next caller. All right, Tariq, I'm about to let you go, man. Try to call back if you can. All right. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sometimes, this Skype messing up. He might have hit he might have been driving or something like that. I don't know. But you guys are the best audience on the internet. All righty. Yeah, I see you, Modern Renaissance, man, but you're not calling in. The last time you called was 924. So you got to, the phone lines, I got like 5 right now that's trying to call in. So you got to call like right now. Keep on trying. Like if it's not working, just keep trying. That's what you got to do. That's my system, the way it works right now. So that's not my fault. You got to blame the white man for that. All right. And you guys are the best audience on the planet. I'm going to try to get Modern Renaissance Man on the line. Matter of fact, Modern Renaissance Man, if you're listening to me, if you're not able to call in, which I don't see you calling right now, try to use Skype and sign up that way. Don't do like the young boy did earlier and pay for Skype. Just use the email address to sign up for Skype for free, and just add me on the email. If you're listening to me, young sir, that was arguing about Breonna Taylor, you don't have to pay for Skype. You can just get an email and use it for free. I have a paid number because I got to accept calls, but you don't have to actually pay. Oh, I got a little bit of time waiting on Modern Renaissance, man. I want you guys to download the official Trump app. Commercial break right quick. This isn't an ad, but you only get ads from me that I believe in, as you guys know. Download the official Trump 2020 app, and I'll put a link right here in the chat box. It's also in the description box below. Just give in your phone number, verify, then you'll be good to go. So you can bypass the lamestream, old school, washed up, disgusting, ridiculous media and get information straight from the Trump 2020 campaign. If you want to volunteer, you also able to get notified about that as well. So you might want to, help in your local area, pass out merch, or do whatever you want. You can get those opportunities through the app. Again, download the Trump 2020 app for free on your phone, on your device. Just give in your phone number, verify, then you'll be good money. All right, Tariq, can you hear me?
Hey, bro, I'm sorry, bro. I accidentally hit the airplane mode button. I don't know how I did that. But anyways, bro. Yeah, bro, like I'm saying, bro, Sydney McCain is simply using herself to dumb down. She is trying to dumb down the Republican base. And what these Republicans don't understand and what liberals don't understand is that nobody follows these people. Sydney McCain has never been popular. She's never had a following. So nobody cares if she goes and she defects. Oh, well, I'm not even saying defected, bro. Joe Biden tracks the corrupt Republican elite because they know he is going to do the bidding of the big businesses and not the people. So who cares about Sydney McCain? And lastly, bro, because I'm going to go ahead and cut my time because the phone hung up. The whole Breonna Taylor case, man, my thing is this, bro. I can't stand when the black community ignores elephants in the room, bro. And the elephant in the room in that case is why this woman is dating a man who's a drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? And then this man is doing drug operations out of the house. Now, was it her house that was raided or was it his house that was raided?
I'm not sure if it was her house, like if her name was on the lease, but she lived there at that house. Like she wasn't a guest. She lived there at the house and her name was on the warrant.
And I'm just like, who are these drugs being sold to? Republican Trump supporters?
Nope.
Like, seriously, they're being sold to black people. Seriously. And, what black people have to understand is, whoever they worship as the higher up or the universe or whatever, is that there's going to be consequences for these actions. Like, if we don't learn that our actions and behavior causes things like this to happen, if our women don't understand that if you mess with these drug dealers and thugs, it seems to be very popular in our community. No other community has drug dealers and thugs as high value men like the black community. This is going to happen to you. This needs to be the underlying conversation. You know what I'm saying? And it's just going to be missed. And it's indicative that, I was watching the news today. I'm just looking at black people. And it's like, all we do is just complain, march, and protest. And these are all behavioral problems. These are all behavioral problems with the police. And it's nonstop. And I'm just like, this is why nothing's going to change. Our people need to somehow figure out how do we get this behavioral problem with the police, put our fathers in a home, disrespect authority, and tell our women to stop glorifying thugs. That's it. That's pretty much all I want to say, bro. Take care, man.
Thank you for the call. 850, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So turn your speakers down for me in the background because there is a delay on the stream.
Okay, gotcha. Should be turned down.
All right, man. What's going on? Is Modern Renaissance, man?
Yes, sir. This is Modern Renaissance, man. Hello to everybody in the chat room right now. Hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so what I want to do is add to this whole thing as far as the Breonna Taylor case. I did a video officially tonight because I knew and watched what was going on, but I never did a video on it. But now with everything that has come out officially, I went on ahead and posted what I felt with the whole case. And the thing is that just like with all things, what I tell people is this. If somebody tells you that you're going to have a certain destination that you're going to arrive at, and they tell you this is the route that you need to take to get to that destination, along that route, you're going to see all kind of different things along that way before you get to the end. And what people like to do, they like to just get to the end, but they don't want all the details how to get to the end. So in this particular case of Breonna Taylor, what's really messed up is that all people want to do and all people respond to is the end. Nobody wants to know how they got to the end. They only want to hear the end, and we don't respond to what the end result is. We're not responding to how it got there. So when it all comes down to it, the question that people keep on forgetting and don't want to pay attention to is the fact that Breonna Taylor's death was terrible. It's an absolute tragedy, folks. I totally get it. I understand it. Any human being lost, any human being life lost is terrible. But the thing is, nobody is saying the big question, who is really responsible for Breonna Taylor's death? If the guy never would have shot that gun through the door, they never would have had return fire. Plain and simple. So with everything else, even if we didn't look up her past, even if I didn't look and say anything about what Breonna Taylor did or what her boyfriend and were involved in, even if I put that all out the way, the situation at hand was the fact that the police never would have had to do what they did had she not sat there and been with the guy who actually shot the gun through the door to get the police to shoot. Plain and simple. But folks don't want that. All they want is the fact that she was killed and she was in her bedroom. Nobody want all the details. Nobody want to know what happened in between. That's all they want. They just want the end result and respond to the end result. No details. And now that this has come out, they want to act like they're super surprised. Oh, I can't believe, look at this. Look, the police wins another one up on the black folks. You know, here's another one up on the black folks, but nobody wants the details in between.
Exactly. And that's important because details matter. Facts matter. You can't just say, oh, somebody got killed by the police without understanding the situation because it matters. You got to look at reality for what it is and accept it rather than trying to create your own reality and your own version of the events and how things take place.
Exactly. And that's what I tell people all the time. I say, you know what? Perception can become greater than reality. I say it all the time. Your perception can become greater than reality. And if you keep on having these ideas formulated in your mind, somebody keeps on telling you the same thing over and over and over again, you don't go back and research and see if it's true, you're going to begin to believe it. And when you begin to believe it, to you, that is truth. And that's the way you feel based off of what somebody keeps telling you. So if you don't go and want to know how to get to the end of it by going on the journey yourself and finding out how to get to where the end is, then all you're going to do is just say, okay, whatever everybody else say is true, plain and simple. And I'll jump over to this other thing with the RBG, her dying wish, which I thought, like, come on, y'all, get out of here. Now, seriously, y'all really believe? Now, look, as a medical professional, I've worked with tons of patients who are terminally ill. And I say this, and I use this a lot, is that I have not come across one patient ever in my entire 22 years of being in medicine that ever sat there on their deathbed and their last dying wish was something of this sort. Those people's last dying wish, number one, is they want their health back. If they can have anything back, they want their health back. That's the number one thing they want back. Never once have I ever heard somebody on their deathbed saying, I'm worried about my money. I'm worried about my cars. I'm worried about my mortgage. I'm worried about what am I going to pay for. No, if they know that they're dying, the first thing they want is if they know they're not going to come through, I want to be surrounded by my loved ones. If I can get my brothers here, my sisters here, anybody that's so close to me, those are people I want around me. They're not sitting there thinking about Donald Trump right now or who's going to fill my seat and don't do it until I die. I'm pretty sure the woman's last breath was, please don't fill my seat until after. Come on now. They know they use that to, again, what they're doing with people right now. They're using that as a means to play off of people's emotions, off of people's feelings. Like, oh my God. I mean, come on, guys, look at this. Her last dying wish. No, that was just another little strategy trying to use in this chess game to play off of people's emotions and then try to make Donald Trump and anybody else that's supporting conservative way to look like some buttheads because we don't feel for it. But again, like we always say, feelings has nothing to do with truth.
That's facts. All big facts, man. Consider no better myself.
With that being said, I wish everybody well. I know you got to get to another call and all that good stuff like that. And thanks for taking the call. Everybody, I hope y'all all are doing well mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Great call, man. And last, before you leave, tell everybody how to get in contact with you right quick. Tell them your channel and all that good stuff.
Okay, if you guys want to get in contact with me, go on YouTube. If you type in Modern Renaissance Man, it will instantly pop up. It'll be me. My channel is variety, full of a bunch of different things. And I'd appreciate if you guys come and take a look at it, check me out, and look forward to talking more with you, ABL, Brandon Tatum, and Derek. And let's change America, man. For the first time in history, I think we are actually doing something that's never been done in the history of our nation. And I hate to say it this way, if it had not been for what we see going on right now, I don't think that our lights will be shining as bright as they shining right now, man. Love you all.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate it, bro.
Great call from Modern Renaissance, man. Excellent call. You guys subscribe to him right now. I put the link right there in the chat box. Again, Modern Renaissance, man. Love the call. And we did a show with him on the show with Brandon Tatum, and that's a great segue. I got another live show tomorrow with Brandon Tatum on his channel, 8 p.m. Eastern. Y'all step on through. It's always me, Brandon, and Derek. I'm not sure. There might be a fourth guest. It might not be, but it's always the three amigos live on the show. That's on Brandon Tatum's channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, let's get to the next call. All right, caller, can you hear me on Skype?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing tonight, man?
Everything's good. About yourself?
Oh, pretty good, man. Can you see us tonight?
I see you, man.
All right. All right. Hey, man, it's been a wild week, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a whole lot going on.
It really has. Come around here, Lisa.
Good evening, ABL.
Hey, now there you go. How's everything?
Hey, we even got the sign turned around. I hope
Yeah, we put the
correct,
sign
right?
up. Yeah.
Oh, we can see it. We know what it is. The Trump tents, make America great. Keep America great.
There you go. There you go. Hey, man, what do you have to say, Lisa? Here we go.
I thought it was pretty cool when you were talking about what you watch on TV. I love HGTV.
Oh yeah, like that's what I watch. I'm into home improvement, painting, building stuff. Like that's really what I'm into. You know, so that's my thing. I don't watch anything else other than that. You know, my wife.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And
That and news. That's
yeah,
about
we
it.
watch when you said HGTV and news, and then we watch YouTube.
We watch ABL.
What's that show in? Is it Hometown? Do you like Hometown Makeover?
Yeah, hometown. I like Flip or Flop. That's my thing.
I do.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know I hated it when they separated the Flip and Flop in California?
Yeah, that was
it?
unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't want to keep you too long. But did something happen with one of the Steelers football players, Big Ben? I heard Trump talk about it on the radio this morning. Did he do something?
He just said he was a good guy.
Yeah,
You know,
I was.
at his rally last night.
I'm waiting on these football players to turn it around so I could start watching again.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they do. I mean, we got to get back to it because I enjoy watching football and basketball. I used to play basketball a lot too, so I really want to get back into watching sports. But they got so much other stuff, so many distractions, it's keeping me from watching it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you said basketball. We have a basketball goal, and we love to play basketball.
Oh yeah, that's my thing. I am 6'3", so I can dunk and everything. I used to be able to dunk when I was younger, but not so much anymore.
You can't play with us. How about that?
Well, you know, it's just something to let the time go away.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Thanks for taking our call again, and
Hey,
we
yeah,
really
man.
enjoy your show.
What do you think about Romney backing the president on? You know, maybe he will when it comes to a vote on a new justice. I got to thinking about the impeachment deal. You know, he claimed about his religious values, and I just happen to think maybe that's why he wants to back a new justice right now, religious values.
That's a good point. He may be saying the bigger picture because if you get a conservative justice, I mean, talking about Roe v. Wade, that might go bye-bye. So he might have that in his mind. I say, hey, that's great. If he's using that to support us, then that's fine. I'd rather him do that than not do that.
Hey, amen. There you go, man. Well, hey, look, man, you have a great show. Thank you for taking our call.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm glad we finally got our picture up, and sorry I'm not Shady. It's about deer season down here. Enjoy.
All right, thank you for the call.
It's
All
a
right,
great
buddy.
show.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, now. All right, great call. Let's get to the next call here. And let me do, hold on, y'all just hang tight. Nico, what's happening, man?
Oh, hello, Anthony. Can you hear me fine?
I heard you well.
Oh, you cool? Everything well?
Yeah, everything's great, man. Can't complain at all.
Oh, yeah, I've been trying to reach you for a while, and I wasn't sure if you got tired of me or something like that, or the fact that you have so many calls coming in.
It's a lot of calls coming in.
All right. Anyway, I know I've probably fallen behind on some things, and I know that a lot of people have canceled Netflix because of cuties.
Yeah,
And-
I mean, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say is that Well, I mean, but look at the bright side about it. Avatar: The Last Airbender is still on Netflix. It was actually and the good thing was when it was on Netflix, it became the #1 watched show on Netflix when it was brought back on.
Oh wow, okay.
You've heard of that show, right?
Yeah.
And another good thing is that Beast Wars is also coming back to Netflix. So that's some good news at least.
Wow,
right?
Beast Wars. I remember that that's a long time ago. Wow.
It's really one of a kind sort of a show. At least a kid's show, that is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I digress anyway. I want to say is that when it comes to these kids shows, I mean, and a lot of this controversial stuff that's pandered to children, I mean, you probably see a lot of them now, especially with the transgender stuff, where that's where they're taking things too far to present to kids. But when you look at the shows back then, particularly in the 90s and the early 2000s, I mean, never mind those 70 cartoons where they were like those campy Scooby-Doo crap or whatever you call it.
Right.
But when you look at these shows such as Gargoyles or Batman the Animated Series or that kind of stuff, these are the kids shows that were great because they were pushed. They tend to bend the rules a bit, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Rather than pandering or talking down to their audience, but they were more sophisticated. They wanted to tell kids that every story is not going to have an happy ending. And yes, some of those characters you're seeing in the show are going to happen to die, and they're not coming back.
Yeah, it was, it wasn't so soft and just weird. And I appreciate that kind of programming better than what we have right now.
Like the art, And I want to say something else. About Jimmy Kimmel. Have you seen about Jimmy Kimmel's Emmy Awards?
I saw when he got humiliated by Anthony Anderson. That was pretty cringy to say the least.
Well, I gotta say, I mean, looking at the guy, he really looked like he was dying on the inside, especially when he was saying chant Black Lives Matter, and he kept pestering him to say chant Black Lives Matter, and it seemed like he was holding a gun to his head. I mean, the next thing to say is like, come on, white boy, get on the ground and kiss my boots.
I mean, that was next. He was one step away from saying that, and he probably would have done it too.
Yeah, but when it comes to these Emmy stuff, I mean, back when it was really innocuous, it was a good time to get away from politics, It's the same thing with sports and the same thing with the Emmys, and particularly with the TV shows. But now, like all of us, I'm just getting really sick and tired of it, And then all of a sudden, I've just happened to turn to a lot of literature right here.
Right.
I'm just getting really tired of this Emmy stuff.
Nah, yeah, I hear you, man. I'm right there with you.
And even though I kind of gotten to, and I think I never liked football as a kid growing up, and I did try to get into football because most of my friends, as of right now, are into it, but I guess I'm kind of late for the party.
Well, hey, I mean, right now, that ain't the time to get into it, Hopefully they can, reverse a lot of this stuff, and then, you can get back into, a beautiful game.
I know, can you believe it that the 49ers actually made it to the last Super Bowl? I mean, my dad, that was his favorite team.
Yeah, it's weird like that in football. Sometimes you have a team that they'll surprise you.
Oh, and he's probably you're a fan of the Cowboys, right, Anthony?
No, I'm a Vikings fan, or I was when I watched football. Yeah, I was a Cowboys fan when I was a little kid, but I became a Vikings fan when I was like in high school.
Oh, well, I'm saying my dad hated the Cowboys. Just saying.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, it's all good.
Well, okay, and another thing, I'm gonna say this right here, but I'm not sure if you ever heard of this, but have you heard this trend on TikTok that's actually going on right now?
What trend?
It's about the Generation Z tattoo. Have you heard of that?
No, I've not heard of that. What is a Generation Z tattoo?
Basically, they want to become united. If there's one with the Z with a horizontal line between it, and what gets even stupider was that the people who are participating in this trend are actually getting a tattoo, and the end result was that the Z with the horizontal line in it, it's actually the Wolf's Angel symbol, which was actually used by the Nazis.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, care to comment on that, Anthony?
I don't know anything about, I've not seen that, so I don't know anything about that, but hey, Things are getting kind of weird, man. It's kind of weird.
I mean, it's the same thing with the people who tend to preach about, oh, like Trump's a Nazi, conservatives are Nazis, or that kind of stuff. We have the people who just use it as a more oversimplified, fallacious ad hominem to probably make such audacious statements, and then yet they probably never even took the time to even research what Nazism is all about, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of like projection. They're doing what they said that you're doing. They do it themselves. It's really weird like that. But hey, I got a lot of calls online, Nico, so I got to get to a few more.
All right. Sorry I won't hold you up, Anthony.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
No problem.
All righty. Shout out to Nico for the call. And thank you all for being here. You guys are the best audience on the internet. All right, call you on the line. We're speaking to 617.
Hey, what's going on, man?
All right, man. What's happening?
Your callers, man, they keep pounding in, man. Hey, so according to you, you say that you believe that Trump didn't want to make people panic with COVID when he said he didn't want to say they was airborne. He said there was 12 people, then there's going to be 8 people infected, and then 4, and then next to 0. Then he said it was going to go away in April with the heat. Then he said that will miracle disappear. He said those things because you said that he didn't want to scare people, right? That's what you said, right?
Now, I don't know anything about you saying about the numbers. I don't know anything about that. But he said some things. And then he said that he was not trying to scare people. That's what he said.
Okay, so he wanted to scare people. Okay, so no, okay, that's fair enough. But I don't believe it's true. But let's give him the reasonable doubt.
It's an opinion. That's fine.
Yeah, that's his opinion. But when you're dealing with a virus, you can't deal with your opinion.
No. You didn't hear what I said. I said that's your opinion. I didn't say that was his opinion.
No, that's not my opinion. That's what he said. I didn't say that.
No, your opinion. Listen, sir, listen. Your opinion is that you don't believe what he said, and that's fine. You can have that opinion.
I don't believe it.
Okay, like I said, sir, listen, hush. Like I said, you can have that opinion, and that's totally fine. That is perfectly okay.
So it's a lie. So he lies. Okay, let's assume that it's true. That it's a lie for his supporters, for people that believe everything what he said. Then he said in a rally in Michigan, a rally in North Carolina, if you let Joe Biden, if we allow Joe Biden to become the president, actually I'm not a fan of Joe Biden for the fact, but he said, if you allow Biden to become the president, you're going to see Antifa, you're going to see the radical crazy left take over America, invade your homes, and there won't be no America left. So now it's okay to scare him. If you vote for Biden, if Biden become president, this thing will happen. No America will be left. So you have to keep voting for him to have America. But actually, everything that he said contradicts with the facts, because we have most of the riots, the worst riots in American history since 1968, right? So if we do.
What is your point? Get to your point. We don't got all night. Get to your point.
My point is all these BS scary tactics just to scare people.
Why is it scare tactics? It's happening. Like, okay, let's pause for a minute. The Antifa riots are happening now. They're happening right now in Democrat-run cities, and the left aren't really trying to denounce it. Now, Biden was forced to denounce it. After he did denounce it, I'm talking. You stop talking. Biden was forced to denounce it after he wasn't for a while. And the left, the far left, the AOCs in the world, they're not really denouncing it. The Ilhan Omar, they're not really denouncing it. So the riots are happening right now. This is not a scare tactic. This is not some kind of this is not a pie in the sky. I'm talking. This is not some kind of pie in the sky conspiracy theory. It's going on right now, and it's happening in Democrat-run cities, and they're allowing it to go on. So if you get the president not wanting to send any National Guard, any kind of federal help, because he's a leftist, just like they are leftists, what's going to be the result of that? It'd be a wrap. It'll spread beyond where it's at right now.
It's not true, because I live in Boston, a liberal city. Yeah, we got a governor, a mayor that is a Republican, a mayor that's a Republican, but this is a liberal-run city, pretty much. We don't have riots here. There's no riots
was there any kind of incident? Was there quiet, sir? Quiet. All right. Now I'm asking you a question. If you can't be quiet, I'll hang up. Now, was there any kind of incident that happened in Boston, like some kind of police involved, some kind of Breonna Taylor? You're still talking, and nobody can hear you, and I can't hear you either. You're talking to yourself right now. Hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you're getting some steam off your chest. Hopefully it feels good. Now, my question to you, if you're going to shut up for a moment, is, was there any kind of racially involved incident that happened in Boston that would cause a riot to happen like there was in Seattle and also Portland?
No, but there were riots everywhere.
All right, then. So you said no. Exactly.
There were riots in Boston. There were riots in New Jersey.
You said no. So that's
everywhere.
it.
So there were riots. Riots are stopped. Actually, the riots are growing. They're decreasing. We don't have the right. When George Floyd was killed, yes, there were some protesters. Many people protesting. They had the right to protest.
Was any looting? Was any looting that happened?
Excuse me, I'm talking.
No, but see, look. You're on my show. I can just stop you from talking anytime I want, and you got to stop. That's how it works. It's beautiful, ain't it? Now, if you want to do that, get your own show. You could do it yourself. Now, the question is, you said that there was protests in Boston. Now, but see, you're still talking. I can't nobody hear you at all. I can't hear you either. The question was, were there any actual looting incidents that happened in Boston?
No. Like I said,
okay.
No. But there's no riots in every single city in America. We have problems. We have riots in 1968. We got riots in 1970s. We got riots in 1950, 40, 30s. We have riots all the time. For weeks, for months when Martin Luther King was killed. So this is nothing new.
All right.
Number one. Number two, the virus has killed more people than the riots. But this guy keeps saying because they want you to vote for him.
The virus.
Vote for me. Vote for me.
So what does the virus got to do with the riots? We're talking about two different things. I mean, if you want to talk about the virus killing more than the riots, the flu always kills more than any kind of riots would. It's not about, catching the virus and dying like you can always have happen to you. It's about living in a safe place. The flu pandemic killing 100,000 in a year is not going to cause you to live in a dangerous environment where you can just, you fear getting your house burned down. The flu won't burn your house down. But see, as I'm talking, can nobody else hear you? So I'm gonna go ahead and just get to my next call. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. And let's go ahead and push that hang up button, and we keep on rocking and rolling. Thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And we're gonna keep it moving. How you gonna compare the virus to riots? It's like I said, it's like comparing the flu to the riots. All right. I'd rather live in a place that has the risk of the flu happening than in a place where you have riots, burn down houses. Let's get to the next call. Alrighty. 586 on the line, who am I speaking to? 586, who am I speaking to?
Hello?
I hear you well. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, this is Wayne. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Just a short call. Did you happen to catch on that Biden's kid was possibly linked to a human trafficking thing?
No, I didn't see anything about that.
Yeah, I seen it. It was on Crowder this morning, and then I pulled it up, and they had it on Fox as well. It was pretty interesting. Still limited information, so I don't know what's up, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it definitely sounds interesting. I got to look into it.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of information yet, but it's I guess it was a Senate hearing.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you go though. One last thing though, a few calls ago, you blamed the white man for your phone. Really, I think it should have been the reptilians.
There you go. I'll blame them next time.
All right, have a great night. Love your show.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep, bye.
All right, great caller. We got a whole lot of calls on the line. I'm gonna try to get to everybody as soon as I can. You guys just hang tight. Let's go. 775 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
James from the Philippines. How you doing, ABL?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
It's a holiday. Wanted to ask you about 2:30. Sorry about the officers in Louisville. Hope all of that's going well. But one thing that struck me was your immediate comment on that it would have happened anyway, no matter what. And that's a pretty harsh statement.
Yeah, because the thing is that you already had Antifa down there. They had the U-Haul truck. I mean, it didn't just materialize. Like, it was already going to happen. These people don't care about facts. If they cared about facts, then they wouldn't be out there rioting because there was no injustice. So it doesn't matter if what they wanted to happen happened or not, they were still going to do what they were going to do.
I hear you. Back to what I was going to talk about, the DOJ releasing some new guidelines regarding Section 230. Have you had a chance to look this over?
You say it one more time for me?
The Department of Justice today, in the U.S., just released guidelines for revamping or redoing Section 230 regarding the responsibility of ISPs to monitor speech.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't see that. That was today?
Yeah, that was just today, and it's kind of troubling. I've got your email. I'll send you the link on that. A lot's been going on, and it's so hard to keep up. But this isn't looking good for free speech. It looks like, they're probably going to go after Google and Twitter and Facebook, but the other folks that are running networks that don't want to censor might get caught up in a big turmoil here.
So if you could just kind of like in a nutshell, give me like the troubling aspect of the rewrite in your mind from what you see.
Well, what we're seeing is that they're going with allegedly, and they're defining what hate speech is, and they're taking it out of context of, for example, what we normally, if you're running an internet service provider, you're going off of what breaks a law, which would be hate speech doesn't break the law. This hate speech is protected by the First Amendment. And this kind of, it sluices in on censorship, and it hits, the language, I mean, it's quite a document here, but, and I'll send it to you. But the bottom line is that they're jumping up on the rhetoric about, well, it's your responsibility to determine what might be hateful, and that's not the responsibility. It wouldn't be the responsibility of the phone company to deal with phone sex, or let's say Timothy McVeigh used AT&T or Verizon. Are you going to sue Verizon, put those guys in jail for communicating with the Oklahoma City bombing? I mean, all of this is very troublesome in the aspect that we need to define what the responsibilities are aside from censorship. And the baseline is the three things. I mean, one is a DMCA, Digital Millennial Copyright Act, which, that's no problem. You respond to that quickly. It has to do with copyrighted images. The second is child pornography. Anyone in their right mind isn't going to be going anywhere near a network that for example, I would be near with that, and that's clearly against the law. And the third thing is doxing or trying to threaten somebody in a realistic manner. And those are the things that we take care of on platforms, and that's against the law. Now, if somebody says something otherwise, yeah, it's offensive. But, I mean, half the things you hear are offensive, and you take a look at the responsibility of the left, there is none. So we can't control what's hate speech anymore.
Gotcha.
Because, I mean, you're a Nazi as far as I know. I mean,
right. All right.
I think you know what I mean. So that's what it is. I'll shoot you that off, and I just really troubling. That came out, and then of course this stuff in Louisville. It's always something new when I call you. There's always something new that comes up. So appreciate you taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. All righty. Yeah, I got to look into that. Section 230, that's this whole thing about censorship. That's how a lot of the social media platforms are operating as a, what do they say? It's a platform, not a publisher. And there's some kind of gray area in there. they don't publish content, but they curate content. So it's just kind of a weird thing. That's a whole different ball of wax right there. I may do a video on that if I can articulate it in a really easy to understand way. Let me get to the next call. 209 you're now. Who am I speaking to?
Come on, y'all get off the fucking phone.
209, hello.
Hey, Anthony.
Hello.
This is Debbie. I have like three different things to talk to you about. First off, you're really hard to get a hold of.
I've been told.
Yeah. Second off, that lady that called earlier that said she was afraid to wear her Trump stuff. I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and BLM and all of them have been here. But you know what? I feel like if it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But to be honest, everybody, you know, they'll come up to you and they'll start whispering to you. And they'll say, love your shirt, or, yeah, keep it up, because there's so much in a silent majority. You know, people are afraid, and it sucks, because, you know, we don't even know what's going to happen with all this stupid mail-in voting that 80,000 or something like that they sent in?
Right.
Okay. And it's just kind of scary to think that, you know, if the the federal judges don't come through for us and stop all this stupid other voting, you know, with the fake, I call them fake ballots, because I don't know if you know or not, but on the back of those ballots, they tell whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. So, you know, they can tear out whatever ones they want unless Democrats decide to go Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that kind of scary. And then lastly, I called you a couple of weeks ago, and I asked you to check out this one video. They lied to us. Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, it was like they lied to us, and it was by this preacher, Brandon something, and it was talking about the CDC, and they had to change their numbers but they're not changing them on what the Democrats say, and they're not changing them on what Republicans say, or what the news says, because it says that most of the deaths aren't just corona. They're not coronavirus. It's something else.
Right.
And then the thing that got me the worst at the end of this was it said that Dr. Fauci and Dr.
Burks,
okay. It says that they should be in jail because they're working for the other side. And it's like, that's scary to me. It's like, you know, everybody's out to get our president, and, we all love him. And you guys are doing a great job. I love that hashtag today I saw with all you guys standing up for President Trump. You know, Brandon, I don't even know some of them, but that one guy is United We Stand or something like that. But, yeah, you guys did an awesome job on that. That was awesome. Also, happy belated birthday. And I also didn't wish you happy marriage and long life and all that. So that was me, and I'm so glad I got through to you.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Tell your wife I said hi.
All right, I got you.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Great caller. Let's get to the next call here. 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 786, hello? I don't know. I think they hung up. I got cold feet or something. Okay, let's get to the next call here. All right, call in the line. I'm speaking to 317.
317, Anthony Brian Logan. How you doing, my friend? This is Corey Roberts, Central Indiana, Indianapolis.
All righty, man. What's going on?
What's going on, my friend? How you been doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, I can't. The channel seems to be doing really well.
Yeah, it's doing well. It's definitely picking up.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Like I said, I've been following you for a little over 4 years now, so very proud of you. I'm very happy with the work you're doing. It's great. The information. There's a lady that called earlier from Indianapolis. I was listening to your show. I just kind of had some downtime tonight, so I figured I'd tune in. And she was asking, she wasn't sure about Indianapolis in regard to whether it was blue or whether it was. She can't tell whether it's blue or if it's Trump supporters. Well, pretty much here, what you have. Hopefully, this lady's still listening. Here in Indianapolis, what you have is a lot of silent supporters, and then you'll have more overt Democrats. But it's a blue city. And you asked earlier, you weren't sure if Indiana went red for in 2016, but it did. So Indiana, as a state as a whole, voted for Trump.
Gotcha.
So
okay,
that's a fact. And she should, if she's listening, she should go out and wear her gear, but she should also be careful on what neighborhoods that she's in, because there's some pretty, I don't know, I know you know this word, ratchet neighborhoods in Indianapolis.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, she should be very careful at this point. I used to live in Carmel and then went through a bunch of rigmarole, and I'm kind of living in a ratchet neighborhood now. So you have to be a little careful with that kind of thing. The other thing is the Breonna Taylor thing. I've been preaching on this for months as well. I know Brandon did a really, really nice job. Excuse me. He did a really nice job kind of breaking everything down like a while ago. The thing that we run into online with people on social media is that they're all just like stuck on this narrative, and they can't seem to get off of it. They can't seem to realize it. I heard your story. Very interesting, man. You lived in a just so I understand this correctly, you lived in a trap house when you were 5?
Nah, I found myself there. I didn't live there, but I was there. That's a long story. How I got there, I put it in the book, but I can't really. I got to clear some things first with some family members to explain how that happened. But I found myself there one time. It wasn't a good experience.
We don't need to go into detail, and I wouldn't put you out there like that.
Yeah.
But we both grew up in the 7 cities too, right? I mean, I know you're from West Virginia originally, but you were in the 7 cities.
Yes.
And I grew up on Newtown Road in the 7 cities. And I've talked to you a bunch of times about that. You know what Newtown Road is, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I grew up there, so I understand all of those things. But in regard to the Breonna Taylor thing, I just hope people would think with a clear mind. With some sort of a clear mind. You look at the situation. I mean, it's fine that you work at EMS or EMT or something like that, or you did in the past, but that doesn't absolve you from a situation where you're living in a home with guns and drugs and all these other things, and you got somebody in the house with a gun. And do we know if this guy was a felon or not? Was he actually a felon that had a legal gun, or do we know that?
That's a good question. I don't really know if he was legal gun owner or felon or whatever. That's a really, really good question. But what I do know is that he shot at the cops. Like he already admitted to that. He confessed on video. Like he confessed to it. The officer said it. So ain't no getting around that one. It's just a matter of some other stuff going on.
You remember? I don't know how familiar you are with the laws of Virginia. Well, you should be. Probably should know some of them. You remember how in Virginia, and I'm very familiar with this because I grew up in Virginia Beach, Norfolk. I was there for 23 years. So in Virginia, they have a law. It may be on the book still or not sure, but it probably still is. But if you were a convicted felon and you had just a bullet, if you even had a bullet in your pocket, then it was 5 years mandatory.
Off top, yep. I know guys that got jammed up like
5
that.
years.
I know guys in jail that got that 5 years off top, mandatory minimum.
Yeah, and you couldn't even have a gun on you. If you just had a bullet in your pocket, not the gun. I mean, what are you going to do with a bullet? Throw it at him?
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, what are you going to do? Just toss it out? Well, here we go. So, the Breonna Taylor thing is really disturbing. And my grandmother of my children actually lives in Louisville. And as, we were doing the show tonight, and I was watching things as well with the shootings. I was texting her and I was like, hey, be careful out there tonight, Mom. I'm no longer with the mother, but, she's still the grandmother of my children. And she lives down in Louisville. I'm like, you better, keep your butt at home, I was like, because, they're getting ready to go nuts down there. And, it's probably going to get worse over the next few days. But, it's really disturbing. The other thing is the RBG thing, and just want to ask you a question. do you think, and just in it's obviously our opinions, but do you think it's better for him to get somebody in now before the election or wait till after? What are your thoughts on that?
Let's do it now, because the thing is, there's always going to be a problem from the left about him having anybody in office. If he waits a while to get somebody in there, then the response is going to be like, because what's going to happen is this. There's going to be a conflict after the election as far as the tabulation of the results, because you got all this mail-in voting. It's not going to go right. Votes are going to get lost. It's going to be a mess, and they got to try to clear it up. And it might end up in court and go to the Supreme Court. If you got 8 people in there, that's going to be a problem. Then you're going to have to rush somebody in there at the last minute. Then it's going to be, you're just trying to get somebody in there to reassure his reelection. So rather than going through all of that, just go ahead and make the nomination right now and get it over with. Just have it be done. Ain't no point in waiting until after the election, because he'll still do it before his term is over in January. So just go ahead and do it now.
I would agree with that. I think it's better for him to go ahead and get it done now, and then that's a key thing. But also voter registration. I wanted to warn people that anybody that's listening to your show, and maybe you're aware of this or not. Maybe it's a little different down because you're in Tennessee now. You're just outside of the Nashville area, right?
No, I'm in Chattanooga, but I got a little bit of time left on this call, so you got to. Yeah.
All right, I'll make it quick. So I went to register to vote because I was living in Hamilton County here, which is north of just this county north of Marion. And now I live in Marion, so I went to register to vote, and they're putting me. They're like, okay, mail-in voting, and there's all these different options, but they're putting me through like this rigmarole, in regards to actually registering to vote. And I've got to provide this document, this document, this document, this document, this document. But then they're allowing sending ballots to people that are illegals and allowing them to vote with nothing.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of how that goes. Yeah. It's really crazy how they doing stuff. It's crazy how they're doing stuff like that, but I'm like out of time on this call. I'm sorry, man. I got to get to the next. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care, brother, man.
All right, same to you. All right, great caller. And shout out to Cynthia Webb. I saw you in the chat talking about Lake Edwards. I know about Lake Edwards, Baker Road, all that good stuff. I know about Diamond Springs. I used to be out there all the time, like Wesleyan Courts back in the day. Yeah, I know. I got a friend of mine living in Lake Edward. He got a townhouse out there. Yeah, shout out to Lake Edward. Out the beach, down the beach, right by Virginia Wesleyan College. Yep. I know somebody went to that school too. So I used to always be over there in that area, Baker Road all the time. All right. And Diamond Springs too. Okay, let's get to the next call here. And we're going to do 423 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, can you hear me?
I hear you well. Who am I speaking to?
This is Nicholas from Chattanooga.
All right, man. What's going on?
Oh, just sitting up here at my house in my basement, just watching the world burn from my computer screen. Just having a good time.
Yeah, man. Luckily, it's not like that out here in East Tennessee, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was living downtown right there on Chestnut Street for a while. And, I was getting a little bit, for a while there, it was kind of starting to worry me down there because my girlfriend's a nurse up there at Erlanger, and all those people going out there and all that stuff, and I had no idea what was going to happen. So, I made her go out and get a concealed carry permit, and we just decided, I was like, living downtown's nice, but whenever all this stuff started happening, it just very quickly started becoming not so fun to live downtown anymore. So we decided to make the move up to more Hickson area.
That's a great move. Go across the river and move away from all that stuff, man. Great move.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. So did you hear about those cops that got shot out there? I think it was in Louisville, I guess, right? Just a few hours ago or whatnot. They're out there, I guess, protesting with guns or something like that is what they're saying. So apparently 2 cops got shot, and things are starting to heat up out there. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear about that. I was just on Twitter right now while I was streaming. I was asking, did they survive? And people are saying that I think one is in surgery. So hopefully they make a recovery and everything's okay. But it's not starting off very good. But I guess the bright side is that they already got the National Guard out there right now. I saw tanks and whatnot already there. So they're at least somewhat prepared for the violence that's going to happen, rather than not having any kind of preparation like Seattle and Portland, just pretty much being hammered every night.
Yeah, they're they've basically given up on those states. I don't even think they even started trying over there. So
Right.
you know, that's just been a dumpster fire this whole time. It's been 100-something days of straight rioting out there in Portland or something like that, something crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, you know, it's like life stranger than fiction at this point. It's just unreal. It's just I don't see what their end game is, you know, because at the end of the day, everyone knows. Some people are worried. I don't know why. Trump's going to get reelected. What are they going to keep coming out here and keep burning down? You know, it's just going to get to the point where Trump's going to end up passing more and more stricter laws to where, you know, it's like if you even get caught out there, you know, acting up, then, you know the saying, you know, big rock to little rock. So, because he's not going to let him do that for 4 more years.
Right.
You know, so I just don't see what the total end game is here, you know, and it's very obvious that it's just a ploy. And I've seen, like, even if you follow like any meme accounts on like Instagram, it's like they just want Donald Trump's last year to seem like the worst, you know, year in the world. Everyone's always like, oh, 2020 has been the worst year ever. I personally had a great year. A lot of my friends had great years. I mean, the only thing that was kind of a bummer was all these people burning down cities and the whole, you know, COVID-19, which was only I was only really worried about that for about a whole month. And then I realized it was kind of just, you know, it is what it is.
Right.
Not worried about that.
Exactly. Same. I'm right there with you, man. Same here.
Yeah, just, you know, hopefully after this whole election thing, you know, I think, like you said, it's going to, you know, they're probably going to say he won, and then they're going to want to wait for, you know, a few weeks, and then just going to try to get in all their fake ballots or whatnot in. That's not going to work. I think it's going to be a landslide. I think it's going to be worse than Hillary Clinton because, you know, it seems like they're taking a different tactic this year, whereas last time they would always, all the polls said overwhelmingly Trump was losing. But now it seems like they're kind of saying it's like, oh, they're neck and neck. It makes it almost like more believable, so more people get kind of worried, I guess, and maybe think about being a conscious voter or something like that. So, you know, it's kind of interesting to see that, whereas those polls are always, you know, probably taken at some, you know, college campus out west or something like that or whatnot. Who knows how the integrity of the polls are, but, you know, no one listens to those anyways, and it's just kind of funny watching the news. It's almost like a comedy. It's like an SNL skit that's not that very good. So
exactly, yes.
So did you what did you think about the whole man, I'm blanking here. Oh yeah, they just released a news thing, right, about Trump, and they said the Hill released an article saying that he quiet or in private said something about Jewish people or something. What do you think about the news media basically just coming out and basically just saying whatever they want without any real fact checking? It's like they could say, oh yeah, we got a janitor that came in and, you know, he worked with Trump in passing one time. Trump said some really terrible stuff about some people or something. You know, the news runs with this stuff. And, you know, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that it should be held liable for kind of inciting this, you know, false narrative, or do you think?
Yeah, I think at a certain point it's just libel and slander, because when you just saying things that are untrue and you can't prove it and using, you know, quote unquote unnamed sources, I feel like you should get held accountable for that. You can't just put things out there like that because, you know, you want to be able to prove a thing. You can't just put stuff out. But it's what they do. They know that it's election time. They have to circle the wagons around Joe Biden to make sure he goes across the finish line. And that's what they're going to do. And then once the election is over with, they're going to kind of ease off a little bit and go back to the normal, just regular Trump bashing rather than this heightened level of Trump bashing. But hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, you have a good night. God bless.
All right, now take care.
Bye.
All righty, let's get to the next call here. Let's go. Nippin, what's going on, man?
Oh, how are you?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
So, before we get started, I have to say, R.I.P. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I appreciate everything she brought to the court, but your wish is exactly that, a wish.
It's a wish. That's right. Exactly. It's a wish and no
I
more.
respect everything things she did for the court. I'm going to put political alignment aside. She was a great person, and brought a lot to the Supreme Court. But yeah, I would say this. I mean, like, I'm not like the right who would, like the left who would, like, probably throw a party if someone died, or from the right died.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah, I would pay condolences to anyone, regardless of how much I disagree. I mean, I disagreed with most things Ruth Bader Ginsburg did, but my thoughts still go to her family.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And who do you think should replace her?
I'm not really sure. They're looking at Amy Coney Barrett, or if somebody else is a Cuban lady. I don't know her name. I don't know about all of the candidates. Hopefully, whoever they put in just has a good record. They're fair. They're conservative, and they're gonna be more likely to repeal Roe v. Wade. That's really what I'm eyeing. So that's what I'm. That's what I'm wanting.
Yeah, Roe v. Wade. That's something I want repealed.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano, another hypocrite, funded by George Soros, no doubt.
Yeah, Alyssa Milano, that's funny, talking about she wants to defund the police, but at the same time, she calls nearly the entire police department and the fire department to her home, talking about somebody is an armed gunman. Meanwhile, it was a teenager with an airsoft gun.
Oh my God, the irony.
Right, exactly. Very ironic.
Irony. I mean, like, they want to defund the police, yet they're the ones who demand bodyguards wherever they go.
That's right.
I'm sorry, but you can't have both.
No, you can't. You cannot.
I wish the viewers could see my face on how stupid it sounds. But yeah, choose one. You either don't have any security or you have security.
That's right.
And look, all I can say about Black Lives Matter is that they're indirectly Trump supporters. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, because they're definitely helping the cause, for sure.
They're just making Trump stronger. They're just making... They're just securing Trump's re-election campaign.
Exactly.
You know why the Democrats will lose? Because they're not focusing on Biden winning. They're focusing on Trump losing.
Well, it's kind of hard to focus on Biden winning because Biden can't really even focus on himself. He doesn't even know where he is or who he is. So if he can't focus, how can they focus?
Yeah, so yeah, Biden, I mean, like, that's why they can't win, because they're focusing on the other, they're too concerned about Trump. I
know what you mean. Yeah, if they're focusing on Trump, they keep putting all their energy on Trump, but they're not putting their energy where it's supposed to go, which is supposed to be trying to get Joe Biden elected. But they know they can't. Yeah. They can't focus on Joe Biden, because if they do focus on Joe Biden, then it's not going to look very good. It's going to look very bad for their entire party. So they need to just go a different direction.
Of course. I mean, you know how you win elections? Focus on your party winning, not trying to bring the other party down.
Yeah.
Then maybe you'll be somewhat competitive.
Right.
So yeah, and what have I missed from the past few?
Well, I got limited time here, so I got to go ahead and wrap it on up here. Get some more calls.
Oh yeah, it was really nice talking to you, ABL. Oh yeah, before we go, I have that Nashville mayor thing.
The what?
Yeah, I mean, lying to the public just so that you can, hiding the truth, just so that you can extend the lockdown.
Yeah, that whole thing was really crazy, really ridiculous. But You know, that's how the left do. They'll lie, they'll cheat, they'll steal. It doesn't really matter if people get hurt in the process. It doesn't really matter if they damage their reputation. They don't really care too much about that. All they're concerned with is what they're concerned with. And that's just pretty much how it goes. But hey, I got a few more on the line, Nip, and I'm going to get to some more. Thank you for your call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Likewise, man.
And I shall speak to you on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday your time, Saturday my time. I got you, boss.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Thank you to Nippin for the call. We got a few more on the line. All right, caller. What's happening?
Hey, man. How you doing? Let me mute you over here. Hey, Ben.
Everything's good, man. How about yourself?
Good. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I know that we've been talking about, Alyssa Milano and Breonna Taylor and all that going on. It's bad stuff, granted, but I want to know first your thoughts on, is it going to continue, right, after the election? Secondly, I know RBG gave a, is it RBG, RGB, RBG?
RBG.
Yeah. I know her dying wish, it's like how she wants her seat filled. It's never her seat, right?
Right. It's not her seat. She just was there. It's just like if I go sit down in McDonald's, it's not my seat. This is McDonald's seat. They own it. I'm just here for while I'm eating my chicken tenders.
She's up there on the bench eating her chicken tenders with the gavel in her hand.
That's right.
Yeah, how does she want that filled? Doesn't matter. And what do they want us to do? Wait, and they're already expecting to win, saying, "Hey, Trump can't choose that. Doesn't matter. He's still president right now, so that's his appointment to make." Question being, how much money? And this is a little bit of an aside here. How much money are we raising for the cops and for Trump campaigns and for stuff? BLM has raised millions of dollars, right? Like 20 million.
Mm-hmm.
How much are we raising? So Brandon Tatum on his YouTube yesterday, he wrote a check to the cops, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Breonna Taylor got like 12 million, which is nuts. So BLM's getting 20 some odd million. What are we doing to support on our side? That's a good question.
I mean, that's a good question, but go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just. I
want
to really encourage people, if we can give, because, I find it really amusing that the Democrats raise so much money, and their big thing is they don't want people to earn so much money. They're like, these CEOs, they earn too much money. And they think, why is Bill Gates rich and you and I aren't? He's better with money than we are. And they're like, well, if he gets his funding, his funds cut, or they put a percentage top on his earnings or whatever, you get a salary cap, whatever it may be. It's not like he's going to be paying more taxes. He's going to put all his funds into a tax-free municipal or something.
Right. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. We need to be better with money ourselves, Republicans. Like, I mean, I just want to say, like, if anybody gets moved, go over to Brendan's channel and, share. We need to be supporting our our police. And
now, I'll tell you one thing, one word of encouragement. Hillary Clinton raised $1.2 billion in 2016 and lost to Trump's like $675 million. So yes, they raised more money, but they just burned it up. They wasted it. That's what they do. They tax and spend. They'll have a lot of money and blow it. They don't spend it properly. Yeah. They don't do it wisely. They just have capital. They have money, but where does it really go? We're better with money that we actually use, that we generate, that we earn. They're good with being able to spend others' money and throw it in the garbage and just set it on fire because they don't really value it. That's kind of how I see things.
Yeah. I suppose you're right on that. I just, when it comes down to it, we got to do something not only with our money but with our votes as well.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to get I'm actually worried about getting in my vote right now this year because asked for an absentee ballot and I can't ship anything to the States. Japan is cut off. We can't mail. It took me 2 months to get some files in a letter envelope to my lawyer. My vote ain't gonna get there on time. Listen, man, I'm not gonna take any more of your time. You got some calls going on. Happy birthday. Have a good one. It's always good hearing from you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Take care of yourself.
All right, great call from Nippon. Konnichiwa, all that good stuff. Let's get to some more calls here. And we're going to do 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, brother? Thank you for taking my call.
No problem.
Hey, so first thing I want to say is happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, so before I go on, man, I want to make a general announcement. So this is my third time calling. And each time I call, man, I'm trying to get a little better each time, man, because every time I call, I get so nervous, man. Every time, when you hear that you're on the air, things change, man. I remember the first time I called you, I was so nervous that I blew the phone call. I really dropped the bomb on it, man. I mean, I was stuttering. I was hitting one mental roadblock after another. And, when I got done with the call, man, I was like, man, I felt so embarrassed, man. I felt like I needed to move to another country, man. That's how embarrassed I felt, man. But I was like, man, do I really dare to play back my call in that stream? And I was like, man, I thought I was gonna get roasted in the comment section, man. I was like, I thought I was gonna say like, man, this guy sucked or whatever. But surprisingly, man, when I looked at the call, I mean at the comments, I saw a lot of support for me, and everyone was actually rooting for me for trying to get my point across, man. So I really want to give a big thanks to everyone in the comment section, man, and the whole show, man. I mean, you guys are awesome. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I thank you for that, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I know there's a couple people that were like, hey, what the heck was this guy saying? Let me just say, it's not easy getting on a phone call like this, man. I mean, you can rehearse the whole day, man, and then when you hear that you're on the line, everything can change.
But you know what? I'll give you some advice right quick, because I do this all the time. The main thing is don't take yourself too seriously. Just talk normal, just like nobody's here. Really, the way I look at it is when I'm talking to you, it's just me and you. I'm not worried about who's watching. I'm just worried about, because the way I'm talking right now is the way I talk all the time. So if I'm having a conversation with somebody just in the street, I'm talking the same way as I'm talking to you right now. So you can't be worried about outside things because you can't control it. All you can do is just be you and speak normally. And I think that it'll come across right. If you're a good person, you got some good things to say, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, exactly. Like I pay attention especially to some of the callers that get on the Skype call, and I look at how relaxed they are and how they're just making their point across. And I'm saying to myself, man, I'm looking at them, and I'm saying, man, that should be me. I should try to be more like that. So I'm just trying to get a little bit better each time. So, one thing I want to say, because I'm in South Florida, and I heard today that the governor of Florida just came out with some new laws about like anti-rioting laws. I didn't read it, but I know he made some laws directing towards all the Black Lives Matter riots and Antifa riots that are happening right now, and he laid down some really harsh laws, man. I didn't read the whole thing, but I went through a couple of them, and I think the first one is I think these people can get like 5 years if they try to do anything stupid, and The other one that I saw was if you get caught up in a mob while you're driving, you have to drive through them. You will not face any prosecution. And the reason why I'm bringing that up, man, is because my uncle is actually an Uber driver. So around the time when the riots in George Floyd was happening, my uncle was doing a route. I mean, down here in South Florida, So I forgot what day it was, but my uncle was doing a route. Was doing his regular Uber route around the time when these riots were happening down here in South Florida, and he accidentally got caught in one of them, and like 16 or so people circled his car, and I think they were trying to open the door and pull him out, and there was someone that tried to throw a bicycle against his windshield, so he had no choice but to drive through them. So I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people that.
So I mean, was he okay? Was he able to get through? And
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He was fine. But I think the laws that that the government implemented are good, man. I think that'll set a good example to anyone who tries to come down here and start something stupid. And if that doesn't work down here, man, we got a lot of gringos with guns. So
there you go, man. Absolutely, man. I thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thanks, brother. Have a good night.
Same to you. All righty. We got a time for a few more calls. Let's get to the next one. 765, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Loretta. Hello.
All righty.
I'm from Indiana, and I have a unique job. I'm a driver. I can't say which company, but I also have different people that I talk to. That's my customers. I've got one young man who I picked up the other day who was very curious about our Trump, and he wanted to know the truth. And I just kind of looked at him. Technically, by company policy, we're not allowed to say anything about politics. But I told him if he really wanted to know the truth, he needed to stop listening to the news because it's fake. He needs to listen to you. He needs to listen to Tatum. He needs to listen to Jericho, and he'll get the truth.
That's right.
And I wanted to also wish you a happy belated birthday. Congratulations on your wedding. And me and my husband watch you every day. We think you are fantastic. And I love Candace Owen. I'm glad that there are people like you out there telling the truth. I'd rather listen to you guys than any fake person out there.
Well, I thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I'm just out here just giving some real information. I'm glad you're able to watch it and enjoy it. So I thank you for your support.
I will support you guys. I voted for Trump in the beginning because my dad, may he rest in peace, told me one day when I was growing up, this country would be better ran by a businessman. And I asked him why. He said because politicians would rather bow down and kiss the other country's feet and do what they want them to do instead of working out our problems. When Trump came along, I had to think seriously what I was doing. I voted for him because I remembered what my dad said. And true to my father's words, businessman actually did what my father said he would do. And that has been, I'm 51. I was 15 when he told me that. And if anybody out there is listening, keep voting for Trump because Biden will destroy this country. I already see it. Thank you, ABL.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Bye.
All righty. Let's get to some more calls here. Our caller online was speaking to 617.
Hey, what's going on, ABL? How you doing? How's my connection?
Oh, everything's good. You rocking and rolling.
All right, good stuff, man. Well, thanks for taking my call. I'm glad I got a hold of you. First of all, that mug you got, is that on your store? That thing's lit.
Oh, yeah, it's on the store. Yeah, the sir. Yeah, it's on there.
I love it. I love it. All right, well, the first thing I wanted to talk about, a little bit off subject, I think you've talked about Tariq Nasheed before, is that right?
Yeah.
Dangerous dude. Randomly one night before I was going to bed, popped on YouTube. He was in my feed, and this was right after the LA cop shooting ambush. And he had one of the guys that were protesting, air quotes, in front of the hospital, part of that Pan-African movement, call into his show and talk about what they were doing. And these guys really want the smoke. They really want to get in combat with the police. It's crazy. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So that Pan-African movement, I know you've talked about it a lot. And they're really about going in and doing some serious damage. It's crazy. So just wanted to throw that out there. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
Well, I'll say this. They don't really want that. They talk all this game, but then when it really is on them, when that boot hits their head, it's going to be a different story. So I don't think they really truly want that. And Tariq Nasheed is not about that life either. You keep talking about.
He's not. Absolutely not. No.
He keeps saying, white man this, white man that. Meanwhile, you got a whole Nick's baby mama and a white mother-in-law living with you. So I'm not really trying to hear all that. Did you know that?
Big time. I did not know that. that.
Yeah.
No, not at all. But the scary thing is not scary, but the annoying thing is this guy is allowed to have a man call into his show and talk about that, and he's never going to get flagged. He's never going to get his content taken down. But meanwhile, he's essentially supporting that activity.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But what? One thing, light at the end of the tunnel is that the feds are listening to that stuff. Trust and believe. They are listening. Yeah. They got all of that stuff down. So if you got some guy talking about you're going to do X, Y, and Z, the feds are listening. They're taking notes. So they might even mess around and get some back channel to find out where he's at. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And for sure, I believe Trump and his administration are just waiting until he gets back in, and then that's when BLM and Antifa and all these other movements are going to be deemed as terrorist organizations, and then it's a wrap for them after that.
Right, correct.
Yeah. But, bro, good work, man. I've been following you for a while, bro. Keep it up. I keep on hearing it's your birthday, so happy birthday, and keep up the good fight, man. We're making some good progress, man. Keep it up.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
No doubt.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let me get to a few more calls here. And let's do, 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, BL, it's Sonia. How you doing?
Everything's good. Can't complain about yourself.
All right. Listen, you remember when Ted Wheeler abandoned his apartment?
Yeah, I remember that up there in Portland, right?
What the heck does anybody know what happened to him since? Where did he go after that?
I have no idea. He might have gone to Texas somewhere and gone to a regular place rather than Portland, Oregon.
The reason why I'm confused is because I saw some Twitter thing posted around there that was circulating. I don't follow him, but it was about like a day or two ago, and here's what he said real quick. Tonight, Portlanders are encouraged to dim or turn off their lights for Lights Out Portland. Light pollution can be harmful to humans, plants, and other animals. including the birds who are beginning their migration. Thanks for your advocacy and leadership. And I'm thinking, is he for real? What about the arsonist? That's good for the environment?
All right, exactly. The arsonists and also the so-called protesters, the really rioters, they leave a stinking mess every single night. You're talking about hazmat every night. Ridiculous.
He left he abandoned the place, so I thought he was long gone, but I guess he's still sending tweets about that. Interesting. And real quick, I just wanted to know, you know how they were always saying that Trump had this Russian involvement and it was a sinister plan and the, collusion and all that nonsense. I'm so confused why they brought that up, from day one, but nobody says anything about Biden and China. And then the irony about his son being linked to the ex-mayor of Moscow, which is also Russia. So he has like a link to Russia as well. That's a bit confusing to me.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty confusing. But that it just shows, it goes to show that they are doing what they say we're doing. They're talking about, the right, Russia, but then they got all kind of issues with Ukraine, Russia, so it's like, what's really going on? What's the reality of the situation?
Yeah, they have a link to Russia themselves, and it doesn't make any sense. And then another thing, those cops that got shot when they were just sitting in their car and they're still recovering, I think they're still alive and recuperating. I'm not sure.
They lived. They lived.
They lived. I think I heard that nobody, not Nancy, nobody went or even called those police officers. Is that true?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, because that kind of goes against their whole narrative, because they're really pretty much on board with the whole defund the police thing. They may not say it publicly, or they may, but they're on board with it, so they wouldn't really call them. So if they didn't, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, because Kamala went out of her way to see Jacob Blake and say she was proud, so I thought that was interesting. And she, I heard, went to a restaurant in Miami, a Venezuelan-owned restaurant, and they were upset. They didn't want her there. She wasn't welcome. I think she just showed up there, and it was like an impromptu campaign stop or something like that, and people were pissed off. They didn't want her there. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't hear about that. That's interesting.
Yeah, in Miami. And then last thing, when George Snuffleupagus was interviewing Nancy the other day, I thought it was funny. Did you see how she just had a brain freeze midway?
Yeah, that was crazy. It's like her brain rebooted. It's like, is everything okay? Like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at a machine? What's happening here?
Yeah, they say that it's her clone and it malfunctioned. And then last thing, RBG. You remember when she was in the hospital not that long ago and she had recovered? I don't recall. When she made it out of that little hospital stay, was she seen in public after that?
I don't know. I don't think I saw her for a long time, if at all, after that.
The reason I bring that up is because people are saying that she's been dead for weeks.
I mean, people have been talking about that ever since the hospital visit. That's definitely a possibility, but I have no way of knowing. I think they said that she was somewhere else one day, but I'm not really sure if I saw a video of her, or if there was video, when was that recorded? I don't really know. So she could have been gone for a long time.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wasn't sure if she was ever seen again. All right, well, that's all I got for tonight. Shout out to all your viewers and callers. Love your show. I'm glad it got through. Take care.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right, that'll be a wrap for the calls from me tonight. I appreciate all you guys being on the line. You guys are the best audience on the internet. Please pray for the officers out there in Louisville, Kentucky. Hopefully they make a full recovery. Last I checked, there were 2 officers that got shot out there. I think they may have apprehended the shooter or the suspected shooter. Maybe it's him, maybe it's not. I don't really know. It's still pretty early to figure out exactly what's going on. But yeah, thank y'all for being here. And I got super chats to read, so don't go nowhere. Get something that's a cold to drink for a moment. Give me a few minutes. But right now, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell as well, so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Also, share the video for me. That'll help me out tremendously. Share the video, like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. If you're listening on an audio streaming platform, whether it be Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, whatever, give me a 5-star rating, give me a share, do whatever you can for me. I appreciate you for that. And we got super chats on deck. I'm gonna read those and then wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. All right, where was I at last time I was reading super chats? Thank you to... Let me see. Oh, thank you to Justin Incredible, who says, happy birthday, ABL. Thank you for that. You should get together with Jesse Lee Peterson and B Tatum on a video. That'd be amazing. Shout out to JOP. I met him one time in Nashville at Politicon. He has that, I said that before on the channel, he has that kind of old man energy. Like, if you were to try to attack him, he gets you in some kind of weird hold, and he stomp you in the wine, stomp you in the dust. You know, it be looking like Paris, France, stomping them grapes in the vineyard. So yeah, shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson and my brother Brandon Tatum. Thank you to Abraham Kamani, who says, just joined your YouTube page after years of being a liberal. I'm proud to say that I am a registered Republican and Christian conservative. There we go, man. I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for joining. And I'm glad to see more people coming to the light, seeing the right way to be, in my opinion. Thank you to Nancy Thomas, who says, happy birthday, ABL. Praying the coming year brings joy and blessings to you and your bride. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to Patrick Thompson, who says, thank you, ABL. God bless you and yours, my friend. Shout out to Dennis Toll, who says, until Republicans start putting forth candidates in large cities and fighting for the vote, nothing will change locally, and it'll be more the same since 1968. Well, the thing about large cities, you're not going to be able to break that until you break some of the policies. This welfare state got to go. How can you infiltrate a place that's been commandeered by the welfare state? Section 8, affirmative action, food stamps, all of that. You got a whole industry built on. You got grocery stores and housing projects. All of that is built on government assistance. A lot of these stores make a lot of money off of food stamps and stuff like that. But that's a different story, so I digress for now. Thank you to Theophrastus, who says, ABL, why do you think so many upper middle class kids are in these BLM riots? Want to be part of something, thinking that they're cool and they want to be down and they want to help the poor brown man. See, I come from the hood, right? I come from that kind of environment. Like I said to you earlier, I was in a dope house. They blew crack smoke in my face when I was a little boy, you know? So I didn't live there, just to make that clear, but I found myself there. I was in a lot of different kind of places. So they look at people like me and my family members that were there at the same time, and they feel pity. They feel like, oh, we got to do something for the poor black man. But really, all they should do is just back off and let us just operate and build rather than trying to help. They consider themselves helping, but they're actually hurting. And then you have those that are in there that have the sole purpose of trying to install communism or Marxism or whatever, and they join with the ignorant ones that just want to help, and then they create chaos. They don't even understand what they're doing. There's a lot of ignorance going on by way of attempting to help. You know, it's ignorant virtue signaling. Thank you to Doreen M. Mokin for becoming an ABL supporter. Thank you to Jesse Z, who says Trump 2020. Shout out to Azure Phoenix, who says Joe Biden et al. Are communists. If you want to be a commie, there are 195 other countries you can go be a commie in. Exactly. All right, go to North Korea. Matter of fact, go to China right now. How about that? Good luck becoming a citizen, but I digress. Thank you to Smoking Ace OK, exclamation mark twice, who says, hey, ABL, I've been watching you for about a year now, and I can't get enough because you told the truth. Trump 2020. Thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. Thank you to Ansel 1961, who says, Breonna Taylor was a ride or die dope girl. Please explain to these numbnuts that the life of a ride or die girl is not like a faucet that can be turned on and off. Exactly. You can mess around. Hey, when they say ride or die, they mean ride and die. Okay? Whatever. Ride and or die. You can ride and be in the car, but the date might come where you might die too. That's how it goes. I've seen plenty of girls get hemmed up messing with these dope boys or becoming involved with the game themselves, messing around, be dead, locked up, just like the men. You know, they said that the female population among the black community is rising exponentially in the penitentiary, rising because they're trying to be like the men. A lot of bull dagger type energy going on. They want to be like the men, and they get locked up and killed too. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Thank you to Watts for the You Are Amazing emoji donation. Thank you to Oni Hall, who says FRBG. Thank you for that. Thank you to Deborah Austin, who says, Anthony, I truly apologize for cussing. However, I didn't know you were online. Please forgive me. You're amazing, and I would not have cussed if I knew you were online. I'm trying to quit. I love y'all. Hey, it's all good. Thank you for that. And shout out to Brittany Jean Alexander for the heart emoji donation. All right. That's all I got for y'all tonight. I will see y'all again live tomorrow on Brandon Tatum's channel at 8 p.m. Eastern, and also on right here, this channel at 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday evening. And that's all I got for y'all for now. So, shout out to the mods. You guys are doing a great job keeping them trolls in check. Shout out to Zealand Zen, Ansel, Bill from the Hills, Killer Sushi, Rapper 10,000, True Helper, Zeddertooth Cane Sword, Zealand Zen, Latin Gene. You guys are the best. Bill from the Hills that I mentioned you already. Eric, Cynthia Webb, I see you also. Thank y'all for doing what you do. All right. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.